We'll make sure that mine isn't just looking at Sarah then.
Alright, we're good.
We're rocking, huh?
Rockin'. Sorry.
Alrighty.
Great.
Ooh, remove from exit full screen. It's too much Sarah. Sorry, Sarah. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Homebrew. And today we are starting our debut first episode of Call of the Hunger Campaign, a Genesis RPG homebrew amalgamation bastardized RPG, where basically you'll watch me, the DM, play with my fellow friends, Sarah on cams here, Austin, also known as Human Boy Yes Yes, on cams, and we got Dustin, our good friend, with his audio coming through over Discord.
And his adorable pupper.
And our adorable puppers, all about the place. So, if for those of you who are not familiar with this, basically we are running session 1 here of a brand new campaign. All of our characters got some backstories of roughly 1 page, except for one of our characters has an origin story. You can look at that. It's called Taking Root and is a playlist on Homebrew, our YouTube series as well. So take a look at that if you're looking for some background details on Emery. Anyways, moving off of that, where are we setting off? Our story, Call of the Hunger, does not start in the woods of the Great Woodlands. However, it starts in a city known as Lamore, in the heart of the Old World. All of you have particular reasons why you are there, but we'll get to you all in due time. We'll start off with pretty much right where we left off with Emery and Archek's story.
Really,
but for you to understand a little bit more context, let's step into the city of Lamore. Lamore is a diesel, smog-ridden city set just to the west of the Highlands, nestled in the bridge of the forest known as the Woodlands, and against the White Flow River. And because of its nature, where it's at, it had prospered much from trading with the dwarves and sending goods down the Great White Flow River to the rest of the Old World. It was also garnered great relationships with the Woodlands, giving access to other resources that made it a booming metropolis of industry. That being said, its glory days are long past, as wars ravaged. They're called the Cavern Wars, that raged on from centuries between the dwarves and the Onyx, and a lot of the industry of Lamore turned to the industry of war. But as time continued and the great restless flooded into the Old World, some of their nature and of their machinations changed. Tekeknu, bug-like people, were found emerging from a great crater in the earth known as Paratisium in the Woodlands, and they brought with them other sorts of magics, ones of corruption and rot and decay and recycling, and some of that rubbed off on Lamore, as they eventually became a city that focused and specialized in biological experiments. People would go here if they feel like they are trapped in a body that's not their own, if they needed some sort of change, or if they needed something to adapt their body in some way, shape, or form. Through these experiments, what would be the first signs of what would be considered a cyborg have come out. Not the clean cyborgs that you're used to in fantasy, but more so like diesel horror cyborgs. People who are interested in having wings or something like that have been open to experimentation. And thus, the industry changed gears a little bit to accommodate some of these more wild experiments that in the old days, when the Utica was at its highest, would have been considered pretty much this akin to necromancy, forbidden arts. But in a world that is as isolated and fractal as it is these days, no one's really turning an eye toward this sort of thing, as long as it doesn't get into, as long as it doesn't track mud into their own home, so to speak. But all that being said, the city of Lemoore never really valued cleanliness, and so amongst the layers of industry and capitalism is found smog and plague and other unsavory things. The roads have long since turned into what is referenced as the slurry. Stilted walkways have been made to cross these otherwise toxic floors that have been turned into a makeshift slum to which the Tikeknu run, as they are the only folks who are able to not only survive such rampant toxicological effects, but also to help reverse it in some way, shape, or form. And so
is the whole place a slum, or are you talking about a specific area of the city is slummy?
Much of the surface, like the roads, is slummy. And so built on top of the roads are stilted walkways. And so the cities boom high with smokestacks and large old warehouses belonging to several different factions, of which a couple of you probably would have had enough time in town to get a little bit more familiar with some of the factions of Lemoore. And we won't go into gross detail on this, but essentially the city of Lemoore is run by old business. Petrogovich Bank, a bank that was founded, that minted the coin of Utica, or the Old World. Alkyd Ironworks, the backbone of what used to make military goods, but then ended up fashioning most of the city itself. Mastercraft Tectonics is the ones that were able to discover how to develop linkages between the body and inorganic materials. And then you had many other organizations devoted towards biological modification, to include the Association of Mutagenic Operations, also known as AMMO. And there was A&B Corp, the Ansel Brothers Corporation, which spearheaded most of the work itself. Nonetheless, what you see that walks the streets of this city are macabre caricatures of civilization, people of all walks of life. For everyone knows, you go to Lemoore in the Old World if you would like to not be judged, if you would like to change something about yourself that you would not be able to get anywhere else. And so, between all of these factions, you also have a few gangs running amongst the city. Onyx run as the local gang, the Bronze, and the local gang of the Tikeknu being, let's see here, I got their names. It's in here somewhere. Brain, work.
I mean, as a side note, Hazel looking pretty cute.
Hazel is very cute.
The Natauri run the Slurry and the Ways. And the Harvesters are run chief amongst all gangs, for they are the ones who basically are the ticket masters for all desires of folks who wish to petition these large businesses.
What was that again? Sorry.
The Harvesters.
Harvesters?
Yes, ma'am.
Kind of foreboding.
Yeah,
they sound like a nice guy. They sound like nice guys. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
And so, last where we left off, Emery, you were being escorted by Archik, a fellow Tekeknu, or a Tekeknu whom you've come to become companions with, if not friends. And why did my
It's kind of like a frenemies thing. We're good now.
Yeah. And he was leading you to one such gentleman by the name of Wallaby. This Tekeknu, which is a bug person for those in the room. You guys were talking. You were gravely ill last time we stepped in with something unfamiliar to this Tekeknu. Quite strange indeed. But Wallaby thought that... Tekeknu thought that... Tekeknu. Archek thought that maybe Wallaby would have some answers.
Can I interject?
Sure.
Okay. So we're in like this steampunk toxic world. It's sounding a little bit Russian, very run down, all these things. And then the guy we're looking for is fucking Wallaby, which I always think of as like an Australian, "Hello there, how you doing?" Just completely out of place, and everyone else is miserable, and whoever this is with a name like Wallaby, he has to be cheerful. Like, there's no way this guy's a fucking
joy.
dowdy.
Like,
Yeah. There's no
Would
way
you
he's
like to
grumpy.
indulge in the horrors of the flesh?
So, last time we left off, Archek mentioned to you that Wallaby was just around the corner. And around the corner, you find yourself coming down going down a dank, barely lit, steamy back alley. Barely enough space to get your shoulders through without turning. And walking on stilts, by the way. Wooden plank that's probably about 12 feet off of the main slurry.
Like, I'm not on stilts.
No, it's a wooden walkway, like a dock, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like the whole area walks. Most folks walk on this stuff. Oh,
We're not doing a circus.
forgot to mention in Lemor's also, behind it you see gigantic dams.
Okay.
There are multiple dams. I think there's about 5 dams. And judging by where they are, you see that one dam is actually letting loose water, and it is coming through the city. And it seems that each dam is in front of a tributary leading to the White Flow River, which is it's like the Mississippi, but further away. And you see that in one particular area of town, there is a stream washing out the slurry. All of the slum buildings and the shanties that have been made there have been completely destroyed, but so too has a lot of it's getting clean, so to speak. And you see that there's water mills turning at the same time, and it seems as if there's been a lot of industrial facilities that have jockeyed for positions that have clustered around the tributaries, or the what they call the fonts of Ranvalar throughout the city. So there's some like main veins, so to speak, through the city. Anyways, zooming back in, walking down this creepy, steam-laden, dimly lit alley. Archik looks over at you. Good, he's gonna be in a good mood. There he is. And he points, Archek points at a pair of boots sticking out of a pile of upturned boxes and, sorry, actually, I gotta back up. As he guides you into the alley, you bump shoulders with someone else leaving the alley. A dark blue-skinned man, much taller than you, with ashen hair, seemingly in a rush to move on, and you hear from the alley someone call out, "Good luck, mate!" Actually, he goes, "Good luck, mate!" And turning down the alley, you see the guy who spoke as the mist slowly starts to clear. I'm sure Austin's going to get this reference, and Sarah's going to get this reference. Dustin, have you seen Black Sail?
I have not.
Okay, so for the other two in the space, what you see is veritably the equivalent of Jack Rackham,
All right.
but with burnt ass pink skin. So he's like
All right.
he's like pink, so to speak.
All right. We're not talking just a sunburn either.
No, it's like he's a light pale pink, but it's you don't know if he's burnt or not. He's just pink. But he's got a mullet for Dustin. Think Joe Dirt, pink. Okay. And from his weird mullets and his goofy sideburns, you see pointed ears. This is another gentleman, roughly about as tall as the last one who had passed through. He's probably 6'1", 6'2", something like that. Maybe not quite as tall as the Norn who had just walked by.
Okay.
And he looks over. Ah, do my eyes deceive me? Or is that my old friend?
Sean Connery?
Sean fucking Connery.
It's Wallaby.
It's Wallaby is its own thing. Sorry.
Wallaby's Scottish! This is not allowed!
In my land, you can speak... Hey, dude, he's in the Highlands! He's neighboring the Highlands, okay? He can have this accent if I wanted this accent.
Wrong. Everything has to conform to our normal Earth worldview.
Alright. Alright.
Archek lights up. Hey, old friend, I thought he'd be dead by now. I was kind of hoping to myself. What brings you to this dingy dump? Not surely to see your old friend Vivigini, nor I. And who is this beautiful lass you brought before me?
Hi, I'm Emery. It's nice to meet you.
Reaching out your hand, he bows low and grabs your hand and reaches to kiss it, and you smell alcohol on him. That's managing to walk through the humidity of this place. Could you briefly describe your character for those who are watching and for our friends here?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I am like a Wooland, which is basically a wood elf, except I have like horns that curl back. I've got like a long brown braid with some flowers like thistles woven into it. I don't know if you have the
Yep, I'm popping it right now.
picture. And I'm just kind of smiley and friendly and nice.
I did not get any bigger.
No, it did not get any bigger.
And I do not have a custom art for Wallaby, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
Just put Sean Connery in that Crocodile Dundee hat. You'll get the idea.
There you go.
yeah.
In a kilt.
What?
Alan Quartermain in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
You know what?
Yeah, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is pretty far up. Actually, well, he looks like Jack Rackham, though. He does not look like Sean Connery.
Alright.
So,
That's a lot.
creepy mullet, weird sideburns, bright pink ears dipping out of his. And he's kind of got like tunic, rough leathers on. He goes, although I must say, despite your loveliness, you do look a tad on the ill side. Don't worry, that's just Lamore. It'll soon wear off. Or you might need fresh air every now and then.
It's a bit worse than just Lamore. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean that in a bad way. It's different. But I don't know how I want to put it, Art, but there was something in this water we got into earlier.
Say no more. If we're going to be talking business and this isn't a pleasure, step back with me into my office. And he turns around and walks down a little bit further into the back alley. Archek doesn't seem bothered at all and just struts towards him.
I follow suit.
Wallaby walks over and he looks around and he finds a stool that he picks up and writes and sets over for you. And he like opens up a crate and pulls out some a vial of some brownish fluid inside of it. Kind
It's shit, laddie.
of grabs a cork by his mouth.
Amish recipe.
Punk. And starts drinking some of it. Reaches over. I'll check. How about you? And goes, probably not the best for me. It's good brandy. I would never waste a drop on my friend. If it were bad enough that would compromise your vigor. One for old time's sakes. After all, I do have some favors, and this might ease our tensions. And he starts taking a sip as well, and reaches over to pass it towards you.
Yeah, I take like a little sip, like a polite sip,
Okay.
and then
Hey,
yeah.
it should, in the very least, soften your heart and maybe open the lungs and alleviate the bile. Though I wouldn't know too much on the hands of sickness and impediment. That's really more for the other Aesuerlun. Don't sell yourself short, Wallaby. You're pretty knowledgeable. I tend to outsource my knowledge. Anyways, so you're looking for someone who can help you with whatever you got going.
Yeah, not sure we're gonna make it all the way to your friend's arch if I'm feeling like this.
If you don't mind me asking, there's clinician pretty obviously within a city like this. Why would you come to a Wallaby for this kind of information? You know it doesn't come cheap, Archek. You see, this is unique. We found this ailment in the what the hell is the name of the body of water?
Yeah.
In the crystal tarn. You found an ailment. That stuff is walking around all over the place. Well, I do happen to know some sorry lot sitting off in a hole somewhere right now. Might be able to help you, who's also in the need of coin. If you could direct us, that would be fine. Oh, sure, of course, for a fee. Now, if you don't mind me asking, how much do you have?
To be honest, not much, but how much is this gonna cost us?
Oh, for running you to the guy himself. You see, the problem is that I helped him find Shave Haven in this city, and I'd be a bit remiss if that information went missing. Proprietary information for my friends and all that. So, for me to simply give up what I swore to him was a secret place, it would be a bit uncouth. However, if you are the promise of wealth to him, maybe it can be overlooked. How's a gold sound to you?
How does that sound to me, as a person who doesn't understand, society very much?
I mean, that's like...
So it seems like a lot of money to me.
Well, you could find a place to sleep for like a toilet off of that, So
Yeah.
it's like 20 days food and
Oh,
housing.
that's
It's a lot.
a lot of money. That's
A lot of money.
more than the boat ride here. Almost.
Archek speaks up. How about a second piece of information for friends or a discount? You had another piece of information in mind. I need help with something. Kind of looks over at you and goes, maybe. Would you mind if we potentially speak of it in private. He kind of Archek is looking at you at this point.
Okay. Yeah, of course. And I kind of like nervously go to like the edge of the alleyway, basically. Like, I don't want to get too far. I have no idea where I am.
Okay. They start speaking to each other as your back is turned and you're getting a bit of a view of the goings-on of the city.
Bless you.
Pardon me.
I'm gonna make a little friend as they're chatting.
Sure.
Make my little squirrel friend.
Okay. So you pull out some sticks and some leaves from your haversack and
Sticks
start.
and leaves, some ribbons,
Okay.
tie it all together.
Oh, you meant literally make.
Yeah, she's literally making
I'm literally like making a little stick friend, like a little, almost like a little voodoo squirrel.
What's the difficulty?
Let's see, average.
Okay. And for you guys all to be aware, you have all of your story points. So each of you has 2 story points. You can use a story point. You can use 2 story points to activate your heroic feat, unless you pick the ability that makes it cost only 1. I think, Dustin, you have an ability on your weapon that costs a story point. Otherwise, you can turn any die into a better version of itself for 1 story point. Or you can use it to introduce a fact.
1 triumph and 4 success, no advantage.
Okay. And so for no threat, I would say, using the triumph, you can create and bring to life your woodland creature. And what does that look like for the audience?
Well, I described what my little squirrel looks like, right? But are you asking what it looks like when it gets
When you
brought to
cast the
life?
magic.
Yeah, when I cast it, I'm kind of just talking to it a little bit, trying to just be like, okay, you're a good little squirrel. You like nuts. You like all of these things, and I'm looking for my friend. What was his name?
Walnut.
Walnut.
Okay, so you
And,
go fishing for the spirit of walnuts from the ether.
Yep. And I pull in a little spirit, and it energizes it, and it makes it look a lot more like lifelike, I guess. I don't know.
It
Spirited.
fills in with ectoplasm that starts to glow with a dim luminescence.
And he like circles around my neck, and he's moving just like a squirrel would, but he still looks kind of like sticks. And
You're a very strange lady.
yes.
Being friends with Sean Connery after all.
Yeah.
He says.
Perfect. Yes, that's all I wanted.
Okay. Artie comes back. There's something I need to look into, if it's okay to spend the money and the resources we have.
Sure. What do you mean? What do you mean the money resources we have?
The gold to pursue the medic.
Yeah, sure. It's just the 1 gold, then?
Yes. I can attend to my business, and you can attend to that, and then we can meet back up here with Wallaby.
Okay, sure.
Then we have an accord. And Wallaby walks over and does one of these hand kind of proffers his hand over to you, but does it at his waist rather than super ostentatiously up front.
All right, I pass it over.
Okay. You'll find him at the In and Out. Ask for the room.
The In and Out.
Yeah.
Burgers?
The In and Out. Yep. And he goes, ask for the room for the wage, and you'll be guided directly toward him. He's been told to
Ask for what?
ask for the room in the wage.
The room in the ways?
Yes.
Okay.
Let him know that Wallaby sent you. That should ease things a little bit.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I would suggest mentioning your plight. He does seem to be a bit fanatical about helping others with your current situation.
What does that mean?
It means he's the right guy for the right job.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, great. Sounds good.
And,
Which way?
just take the stilch about 4 lanes down. You're gonna take a right. Follow that up. Eventually, you'll see some stairs leading up to the 2nd level of the stilch. Take the 4th building on the left. It should be the one covered in rust.
Did you get that, Walnut? Okay. Yeah. Okay, it'll be fine. Yeah, and we'll meet you back in this alley here.
Of course.
How long?
I'll be here. Archek looks over and goes, it shouldn't be more than a few hours.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Never seen her check again.
We're never seeing Archek again. I can confirm that.
Oh, okay. We'll see you later.
Alright. And with that,
You're such a trusting person.
What could go wrong?
We are never seeing that guy again.
you see Archek make his way deeper into the city as you move on.
Yep.
Winding your way through the city, the path is really easy to follow. Wallaby's instructions spot on. There appears to be some sort of large, fat matron of the facility known as the In and Out. An ogroid with pendulous sustenance devices for whatever kids she may brew, and all set inside like a heavy strawberry gown. Long locks tied back, but hands the size of, I mean, she could pop basketballs with them. And giving her the information that you were provided by Wallaby, she gestures towards her back room where there's a kitchen, and eventually over to a stock room. And she goes, she gestures towards one of the boxes, and it just appears to be a box on the ground. And she goes, "That 3rd box! You see that it's got a padlock on it? It's really just a handle. The box leads downward. It's not a box."
The box is not a box. Got
No. Read
No.
between the lines.
it. Okay. Thank you.
Tell
Have a nice
Wretch
day.
I said hi.
Yeah. Lovely place you have.
Remember the rules. In and out.
Oh.
And in is spelled I-N-N, by the way, here.
Classy.
Yeah.
That's classy. Okay, I go to find the box that's not a box with a handle.
Okay. It's pretty obvious which one she pointed to.
Yep.
What do you do?
Go, like, I don't know. What does it look like?
So in front of you, there is a timber box about 3 foot cubed, and on the top of it is it looks like it's padlocked shut, and you can see that there's actually a seam along the outer perimeter of it.
Mhm.
That appears to have hinges on the back that are pretty well hidden. In fact, the seam it would be covered on the top, and then the seam is underneath, like the top timbers, so to speak.
Like an elevator.
And the lock, like an elevator. It's just a box, and it's got the top hinges in some way, shape, or form. Wretch, like many days of late, what you hear is the shuffling of feet above you, which has made you grow tense every single time, wondering if this time is going to be the last time. But through anxious contemplation, you've heard the voices, usually deliberating on whether or not to grab turnips or cabbage, or having been mistakenly counting to 10, repeating 6s and 7s about 3 times. This time, however, the feet that stalk towards the box hatch above the room that you've been staying in do not idly walk by. No, they stop, having not spoken a single word having entering the room, and hover. Right there at the entrance, at the top of the ladder, in your dimly lit space with your single candle, your small bed, and your roll-out mat. That being said, maybe it's because you're getting low on rations, and the matron of the facilities is just bringing by supplies. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe the noises are in your head.
Nothing. Okay. Is there any way I can, like, peek out?
Yeah, I mean, you can climb up the ladder and peek out. Otherwise, if Emery's going to open it, then just got to open it.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna open it, sure.
I didn't know if you were going to call out to him or anything like that before.
No,
So
no,
you guys take the seat.
Yeah. No, I was gonna try to figure out how to open it and get down or whatever.
Grabbing the lock and kind of hoisting upwards so you can see the keyhole, you hear a click just from the lock itself as you pull it upward, and you see a dim light come peer through on the bottom of the box itself. It hinges upward. Down below, you see a figure. Could you please describe your character, Austin?
Wretch Braventail is a ratten, which is a rat person. He is small even for a ratten, though well, I can explain that later. He's small even for a ratten. He is, not that armored just yet. He has a big thwapping stick and a couple books, a religious icon. Essentially looks like a beggar at the moment, though, because he's been going through a bit of a rough time.
Oh, hello there. I'm Emery.
Are you gonna give me food?
I think I have some corn here. 1 second. And she literally just pulls out like a ear of corn that's still like unshucked.
That is 2 weeks
that is
old.
looking a little worse for wear.
Thank
it's
you.
been in the bag for a bit.
I'm gonna try to eat it.
Go for it.
Okay. Is that a resilience check, or just go for it?
You can just go for
You
it.
can just eat it.
It's just not
Okay.
very great anymore.
Yeah, it's
I
not to
eat
the
it.
point where I'm too worried about your resilience just yet.
Okay. I eat it and I visibly cringe, but I try to smile it off because I'm just a very friendly little fella.
So have you scurried up the ladder, or has Emery scurried down the ladder?
I'm definitely still at the top. I passed it down. Like I'm not sure if he's gonna let me in or not.
So what do you want?
They said to come here. I'm not feeling well. I think I picked up something in the water.
Emery is emaciated and covered in fever sweats and has a bit of a tremble to her arm as she holds out the piece of corn. And you
Boy, this is exciting!
You see
And
black
coming up with the
varicose
thing.
veins on her arm from where appears to have been a bite mark at some point.
Oh, goody. And I'm coming out, I'm all happy, getting all my healer tools out.
Most people haven't reacted that way when they saw me lately.
Well, that's because you're sick.
Yeah, I don't feel so good.
I am going to try to cure malady.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a magic skill check.
Yeah, it says original or associated resilience check, remove physical condition. So I do resilience, correct?
Nope. So you are just doing your magic check, which I believe is channeling. And then I base it off of what they would normally have to roll for resilience, etc. So
I'm usually exceptional at this, but I'm going to roll like trash probably.
Would you like to spend a story point just to upgrade your check?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
2 success, 3 advantage, and a triumph.
Well, I happen to roll pretty terribly. 1 failure, 2 threat. How many advantage did you roll?
3 advantage.
3 advantage. Okay. So, looking over Emery, you call out to Dahlia, your god, and request from her intervention on behalf of this poor woolland, this antlered, nice-looking lady in front of you. And she answers, cleansing these wounds and this affliction on this poor soul. Could you please describe that for me and how it would look in your character's eyes and how they would feel reaching out to their god in this sense? Well,
since I was not trained in like a real school, it's more of an intuition kind of thing. And this is out loud, so why am I forgetting your character's name?
Emery.
Yes.
Emery. Emery sees this. I look up at the ceiling, and you don't even know what the fuck, but I just look at the ceiling, and I'm like, oh, pretty lady of the sky, give me the power to heal once again. Oh, thank you. I'm doing very well. How are you? Well, that's nice. Did he? He didn't. He forgot! Oh, no! We can talk about that another time, pretty lady. Can I please? Oh, thank you very much. And then I like put my hands on your arm, and it starts to heal stuff.
Oh, thank you. Who are you talking to?
The pretty lady. This one. I hold up the symbol of Dahlia.
Which is your belt buckle. So if you're like,
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, that's a pretty flower. I like that.
You may remove your...
Icky mermaid bite?
Yes, your icky mermaid bite, if you have that logged somewhere.
Yes. I'm sorry. I wrote it as a merman bite.
Important distinguishment for some.
It is.
Sorry, Grace came home. I was telling her hi.
Wunderbar.
I'm gonna start to crawl back into my hole.
Oh, you don't need any sort of payment or even another ear of corn?
Maybe? I don't really know what's happening right now. I'm in a hole.
Oh, yes, I did see that you are in a hole. I'm not sure how these things in the cities work. Usually, everybody's been asking me for money for everything. I just sort of thought you would too.
I'm all out of money and I'm gonna die. But have a nice day, lady. And again, I start to go back into my hole.
Right. Sure. Okay. That was odd. What, okay, yeah, we'll at least leave a few pieces of corn, right? Right, Walnut? This just doesn't seem right?
He kind of looks over at the rat that sits in the ladder in concern. Kind of looks back at you. You know, he like hops down and like hops over to the ledge and like hops over onto Wretch's shoulder plate kind of like nuzzles a little bit and like looks back up at you.
Oh, well, not that's rude.
And he like jumps back off as you said that was rude. He's like, oh, sorry, and like scurries back over to you.
Are you
Hey,
sure?
lady!
Hi.
What are you doing in this town?
Well, I'm trying to head further into the forest, I think. My friend took me here, and we're on our way to do something else. And help my brother, but not really important to you. Anyway.
Can I come too? This hole sucks. I'm gonna die.
Sure. You could come with, I guess that's fine. What was it that you were doing that made me feel so much better? The magic was different.
Secret.
Secret. Right. Okay. Sure.
Are we gonna die?
Well, sometimes death is just the beginning.
You're not a very comforting lady.
Very positive.
The pretty lady in the sky is much more comforting than you are. Let's get going.
Right.
All right. Well, I'm following you wherever you go
Yeah.
from this place because, like, this person was trying to do me a favor, but from my perspective, they shoved me in a hole and they're like, "You'll be safe here," and I've been here for like days, just in a hole.
Yeah. Wallaby, we're going back to see him.
This whole sucks.
Trying to figure out how to whisper here. Let's see. /W, and then
Well, now it's not very secret. You get that, right?
I do. Okay, let's see if that goes through or not.
Everyone can see it.
Okay. Oh, hey, it does.
It.
Okay, cool.
I can't see whatever you said, so.
Okay. So, let's see here to see if I can do it again. Okay,
That's a cool feature.
I'm trying.
Super secret whispers.
Super secret whispers.
So as you guys leave the inn and out, you head out onto the stilts and begin walking back to the random back alley that you happen to find Wallaby in. And one second.
Okay. Sure.
Super secret whispers.
Super secret whispers.
We shouldn't go this way.
What do you
I start to walk in a completely different direction.
Wait, what?
So you see Reg get visibly upset at the sight of a few individuals walking up the boardwalk who appear to be clad in leathers. Mostly, a couple of them have trench coats, and one of them has like some sort of peg leg, but it's got some sort of component to it that's moving. And one of them's got a staff, and on the staff is what appears to be some sort of like pincer thing on the very, very top, and it looks like it's got like some sort of handle that can articulate with it.
All right. And so, what did you do? Sorry.
As soon as I saw them, I went the complete other direction all of a sudden, and I just said, like, "We should go this way!" and just, like, started walking away.
Oh, okay. And I go to follow you. But Wallaby's this way, I think.
I don't know who that is, but he's in a bad direction right now. We'll have to go again later, when he's not in a bad direction, so we don't die.
Okay, I don't know my way around very well.
Oh. Reg, you have met Wallaby before.
That's right, because he stuck me in the hole.
He's
Sorry.
the one who stuck you in the hole.
Yeah. We'll have to catch up with him later. Don't want to talk to those people right now. They're not very nice. They're not nice at all.
Okay, I feel like I trust you on this one. There's probably not a lot of nice people in town, right? This seems kind of like a not so nice town. I'm used to village where you know everyone.
Nah, most of the people are nice, just not the ones that drink or smoke or talk. All the ones I haven't talked to seem really nice.
Oh, see, and I always thought to be nice, you had to be friendly. You know, you had to say something like, "Hello, how's your day? My name's Emery. How's your day? The weather's looking fine, isn't it?" You know, that sort of thing.
As you guys are chatting, you see that some of the folks who are in that group of 4 or 5 individuals are like a couple of them are like looking in your general direction and like muttering to each other. It's probably about 50 yards away.
I'm gonna keep an eye on them while walking, and then respond to Emery well, I've traveled all over, doing all sorts of things, and I can tell you this: everybody's friendly
Full stop.
in some way. You just have to find it, like a key. You have to unlock their goodwill. Sometimes it's money. Sometimes it's leaving them alone. Sometimes it's buying them a kitten. People are complicated.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. Walnut, will you keep an eye on those guys? You come back and find me if they follow us.
He kind of looked at you and looked at him, and like comes down off of you and looks just like he plants his butt right there and looks over at them.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah. So he's
Subtle.
he's
We'll
looking
kinda-
at them sitting on the stairs.
Yep. Should we see maybe if we could go around the block?
Okay, as long as we're not, there.
All right. So is it my understanding that you're going to try to lose these guys, but circumnavigate and find your way back to
Yeah.
where Wallaby is? Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead and give me a streetwise check. And
Oh.
Wretch, you can help or you can
Or you can hurt.
so you can give her you can either give her a boost die or you can attempt it yourself.
You're gonna want me to do a boost die.
Okay.
I'm not a very cunning rat.
Alright, I'm looking up to the sky, okay, so we gotta go east. Which, of course, my character knows which direction east is, even if I wouldn't be able to figure it out. Alright, 2 success.
2 success.
Flat, yep.
Okay. So you successfully lose your tail, but the roads are not grid work. It's not just I'm gonna go up 2 and then over 2, and it's gonna be equivalent. Some of the planking just ends, and you're like, oh man, I have to cross the street. I have to go back 2 blocks to cross the street, so to speak, or you have to wade through the nasty gunk shit stuff.
Had some bad experience with water lately. Nah, not gonna do that.
Okay, so avoiding the slurry, it takes you a couple of hours to find your way finally back to the alley where you met Wallaby and Archek.
These cities are very confusing. Do I see Wallaby around?
Starting your way down there, you see Wallaby, and he's pacing back and forth. And you see that he's opened up. It looks like a big backpack, and he's been shoveling some of those bottles of Hennessy and brandy into his bag. And he'll look over at you, greasy hair disheveled a little bit, and he's He looks at you and goes, "Oh, good, you're back. Oh, and you brought the rat. Great. We gotta go."
Where's Art?
He kind of looks at you and he kind of looks at himself. He's not coming. We've got issues. I can explain, but we're gonna have to move. Maybe we can grab. We gotta grab that large Norn who's just left here. Yeah, he needs to get out. He wants to go to the woodlands too. You see, we got big problems. Archek went to the Bronze.
Went to what?
He went to talk to the Onyx. Okay, now I don't know everything about what Archek was doing. You probably have some of the pieces, but he went to the Onyx.
He went straight to the Onyx. Why would he do that?
Had questions, and I shunned him. I didn't mean to. He asked, and what you need to know: Archek is dead.
What?
Archek is dead. And you see now that he's got like speckles of what you thought was mud at first. It's actually, give me a medicine check.
I mean,
Can I do that, or am I just?
You can
gonna
both
keep
do
my
that.
motion?
Yeah.
Okay. Intelligence of 2, and why don't? Oh, that's mechanics. Oh, thank God. I was gonna say I don't have any points of medicine. I swear I put some in there.
none for you.
Okay. Wow. One advantage. The yellow dice rolled blank for me again.
Okay, and you, Emery?
3 and 4.
What you
3
notice?
success, 4 advantage.
What you notice is speckles of dried, or not even dry. Actually, it would be dried by now. Dried blood, but not human blood. It's a different color, and you see small flakes of carapace on him, mostly on his sleeves, but you also see it on his lower torso and on his pants too.
No. I can't lose him, too.
Emery, they're going to come for us. Whatever Archek knows, the Onyx are going to go after anyone else who knew what he knew. You understand me?
I don't know much.
Do you? The Onyx don't know. The Bronze don't know what you know. But you came into this town with him. They will come for you, and they're going to come for me. We must leave. Rat, I'll waive your escape fee if you come with us and help us in the woods. We're gonna need your efforts. But you're dead if you stay here. We're dead if we go ill-equipped to the woodlands.
You make a compelling argument, sir.
Now,
I don't know where else to go, so sure.
even with the three of us, it's a bit of a stretch. But I happen to know him, looking to sail into the woodlands himself. A dangerous task, even for a well-equipped party. Let's go find that Nod. That jolly chap Ilya. He'll fit in good, I think. But he might need some convincing himself.
Uh-oh.
Last time I saw him, he was heading to the market square to re-equip. Now, do you want to stay here, and I can go talk to him? It's best not to have Wretch out where the harvesters can see him.
Oh?
He's wanted. Shoopin' Slick has put a bounty on his head.
Oh.
Like, I just kind of shrug, like, sorry.
It's no problem for me, young fella. I'm sorry that you're in this situation, that I'm taking advantage of it. But, bygones, dog eat dog world, all that.
Okay, I just follow numbly at this point.
Yeah. Everyone knows not to necessarily. I believe you had the onyx might find you, but if you come with, the harvesters might find us. Screw it. We're safer together. And he leaves. He heads out of the alley there.
Does
On an adventure!
the lady in the sky ever, heal people extra hard, like ones that are gone?
No.
Oh. So as you say that, Wallaby stops in his tracks and turns around towards you and goes, "That's right. You had Archek was helping you with something, wasn't he?"
We can talk about it later. It's fine.
Yes. He said that you needed to find G in the Bracken Bastion. Something about your brother.
Right, but that's fine. I mean, let's just get out of here.
Oh, no. He was helping.
Is your brother
he
dead?
Was helping you, wasn't he?
He'll get better.
Yeah, he will. But it'll be a while before we get to the Bracken Bastion.
Is your brother dead, Miss Lady?
It's only temporary.
You should leave dead things dead.
He kind of wags his finger. It's only temporary until it's permanent. We're gonna need to fix that before we go, too. Or at least put a stopper on it. I'm sorry, but that's not my expertise. You might lose your brother altogether by the time we get to the Bracken Bastion.
No. What? No. We can't do that.
Listen, sweetie. I happen to know some folks. But that's a whole other thing. But we should get that cleared out of the way right now before we leave. I don't want you breaking down and reneging on our deals before we even get to the Bracken Bastion.
John Connery knows necromancy.
This is the whole reason I came here, is just for him. So
Let's find the known. Let's find Ilya. Then I'll take you to Diana. Right? She should be able to help your brother out in the short to help us get to G. All right?
okay.
All right. Carry on. And he takes you through the market square and he's stopping in at blacksmiths. He's stopping into general goods supplies. And you see him. Have you seen this Norn? He's about yay tall. He's doing all these things. And eventually he spots a tall, dark gentleman of pale blue skin coming out of a supply store, packing rations, sealed rations into his bag. Dustin, would you like to describe the character that the rest of the party sees?
Ilya is a tall, stern character with stone gray hair and light blue skin. He has a gambeson, I believe, over his chainmail. He carries a large shield and a magical sword with runic engravings along the blade and an ornately carved hilt.
Ilya, as you're making your way through the market square, getting your supplies, and readying for the next item on your business, on your quest, you hear a familiar voice. Ah, you haven't left yet. Perfect. I've happened to wrestle a few other folks together. I was thinking maybe you'd be interested in a little quid pro quo.
Exactly what are you offering and expecting from me?
Simply a scratching of backs. But you see these folk over here? they seem to be jolly on the idea of heading into the woodlands themselves. And I happen to find a need to be heading in that general direction too. What good is a map if you can take the guide himself?
That's a fair point, I suppose. Although I have a feeling that I'm getting myself involved with your own trouble.
Absolutely! Quid pro quo! It's amazing, isn't it? You help me get to the Bracken Bastion, and we help you find your boat or whatever it was and run amok. And, hey, it's like 3 for the price of 1. The rat just needs to get out of town, and me and the little lady here both need to go to the Bracken Bastion. So, 2 stops, 4 satisfactions. That's the worthy promise.
You make a compelling argument, although you and your friends are proving to be ever more bizarre.
Welcome to the city of Lemoore.
When you have companions.
I haven't even said anything yet, and that little Walnut the squirrel is like just kind of like dancing around in my hair,
Playing with your little baubles.
like on my
I
horns.
think your thing on your head is speaking well enough for you. But I'll reserve judgment until later.
Emery, by the way.
Sounds like he's in.
Well,
Yep.
wonderful. We'll
Let's get
call
down
it
to
a
business.
family. My kin and yours, all together as one. Now, have you finished up your affairs here, Mr. Ilya?
Indeed I have. I'm ready to head off to the woodlands.
Ah, perfect. Now we have a few more errands to run. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take the front doors that you and Emery have so nicely entered, as we might have a wee problem with the harvesters. But rest assured, I know a way out. Yep, it's a way. It is technically a way.
We really be taking this long. You said the Onyx are on our tail?
They're going to be watching the doors.
Right.
So, rest assured, I've got a plan. It's all going to come together swimmingly. Speaking of swimming, I might need to pick up some shoots. Alright,
Water again.
I'm going to drop the 3 of you off with Diana, alright? And then I'm going to run some errands, and I'll come back and I'll pick you up, and then we'll get out of town.
Last time
Okay.
somebody said that they were just gonna run some errands. That was literally a couple of hours ago.
As a matter of fact, that's a good point. Maybe we should do 2 and 2.
Where's this Diala?
I'll take all of us to Diana. Then, Wretch, you should shit tight with Diana.
Shit, tight your shit.
You should shit tight with the young lady, and make sure that you stay out of shit. Ilya, you're big enough for me to hide behind, so I'm pretty much more comfortable with your sword and shield beside me. So I'll take you that way. Then you and I can do some errands and meet up with them. In agreement?
Right.
Charmed. He leads you guys up one of the stilts that is groaning with a river passing underneath, having cleared out the slurry below. And let's see here. Oh, wrong one. That's fine. Okay. Eventually coming toward a building that looks like a rundown steel structure of some sorts. He opens up the door, and what must have been a rather noise-proof door, because as he does, there's a loud ruckus inside. And you hear music, and eventually you come in and see dancing, and there's strange, like, strobe lights, which is, given that the era that this is in that is very unique. Of different colors, circulating a room with people dancing. And he basically reaches out a hand and guides you by hand through the facility, and he whispers to someone in the back. A really, really tall, dark-skinned man who's wider than he is tall. Proverbially some sort of bouncer or ogroid. And he leads you, he gestures towards one of the doors and steps aside and lets you guys in. And you guys enter a hallway that's brightly lit red. And passing by a couple other folks who are leaning against walls, having a quick smoke with each other. There's an emaciated female orc with a shaven head talking to some sort of person with it almost seems like there's a beak coming out of a hood, but that can't be right. Maybe it's some sort of mask that they're wearing as you walk past. And eventually you come to a door, and there is another person there, a tall, lanky person who appears to be stooped over. What race they are is not immediately apparent, some sort of humanoid, but you see that some bits of flesh has grayed and even peeled a little bit from underneath their cream, almost mummified robes. And Wallaby goes, we're here to see Diala. She's with a client. And he turns around and opens up a small, sliding hatch and, looks to be peering in. One moment. And he stands there awkwardly in silence. 10 minutes goes by. And without checking the little window again, he just reaches behind himself and opens the door. Turns the handle and pushes the door open. And you see him accordion out of your way. And inside you see the room has 4 pillars, kind of near the corners, and in the center is a raised platform, and on it is what appears to be some sort of red upholstered throne. And there's a bright yellowish light going down, glinting down onto the throne, and in it is sitting a very small person who appears to be either goblinoid or a leprechaun. And they are dressed in kind of what I would consider to be Renaissance fineries. He's got the ruffles here, so to speak, longer, much more open lace wrists, what the hell am I thinking of? Sleeves. In the corners of the room, you see that there are set into the stone walls of the space, which, by the way, the whole building outside was steel. This is a stone building inside the steel building.
Okay.
And set inside the walls are weird statues of contorted people set with a brighter light. 4 of them, 2 on each sides of the opposite walls. And there's sconces on the back, lighting up along the back. But the room is mostly red. And you see this character sitting there. A big tricorn hat over their brow with darkness underneath their eyes. And as they go to light up what appears to be a multi-bowled, long, kind of like a saxophone in size, pipe, you see their eyes look up, and you see bright yellow eyes from underneath this tricorn hat as they pull from this long pipe. And you hear a voice. Wallaby. It has been a while since you have graced myself with your presence. I'm assuming some favors are to be traded today. A female voice coming from what appeared to be a very male leprechaun with mutton chops.
All right.
Though you are familiar that female dwarfs do have facial hair.
Who am I to judge?
Dia and Wallaby goes into it just grandiose bow, almost kind of a curtsy in fashion, actually. Shendraji, my regards. Any chance I can get to grace your beautiful, your beautiful heart, I take. I just do not wish to dance upon your graces, distastefully. However, I do find myself with a companion with the likes of a task that might be suited to the likes of you. Oh, sorry, he says, Ada, not Raji. Dialect speaks back. Very well, but you know me and Ada do not sit on light feet. Strange for you to bring him up in such a whimsical fashion. Cut out my tongue if that is. He goes. I'll cut out my tongue if it bears you an affront. I many times apologize, my dear mistress. You see, I'm but a man who lacks grace, and am falling to your mercy to provide such grace to my friends here. It is still within my nature to desire to appease, though this land has taught me one thing, and that is everything has its price. And I'm unwilling to give trade. I'm unwilling to donate without. Yeah, I'm unwilling to donate sacrificially for future goods and remedies that I may provide are at a cost. What is it that you would will of me and mine? And Wallaby turns towards you, Emery.
Okay. Well, so, I have a bit of a problem. My brother, you see, well, he died. Well, his body did. But not his soul. He's fine. I've been talking to him quite a bit. And you see, he misses being here, you know? So, we're trying to get him back here so he can be with me again. But Art was gonna take us all the way into Carnation and find a way to do that, but now Wallaby's saying it's gonna take too long.
I pray your brother rests easy, but it sounds to me as if your wish is that he does not be taken up by Black Phillip himself. It is a cold, hard bargain one does when they desire that Black Phillip does not have his dinner and eat it too. A permanent
Jack Sparrow.
a permanent task of denying him is in of itself a burden to be borne. Are you ready for such a burden? And do you have the price it takes to pay it?
Well, I'm not really sure what the price is. But I'm ready, sure.
I tell you what. I have remedies, although temporary, that I could provide for your brother. Maybe it's best that you seek a long-term solution in whatever venue you've already had in mind. But for now, I know one way that you may put your brother on your back, so to speak.
Are you familiar with the necromantic art?
Not really. No, I mostly just do a bit of tinkering magic, like this. Then I kind of show my squirrel. I'm not quite sure what it was that Arch did with, like, life and death and magic. He seemed to do some of that, but not me.
But do you fear it? The word necromancy. It drives the bones from some to liquid. But how could you avoid necromancy when it is the soul dancing in the potentia that you wish to maintain? In fact, although I cannot see such a thing inside your familiar, I am very familiar with the works of witchcraft, and you do not smell devoid of it.
Okay.
I'm in this room, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to not, like, completely destroy what's going on here, but there is no possible way Wretch is totally fine with, like, yeah, necromancy, this is just chill. So I guess I'll pipe up.
Sure.
Isn't that evil? That's evil, right? Are we the bad guys? I don't really want to be a bad guy.
Well, it's not like that, Rich. It's just, well, my brother wasn't supposed to die. He just wants to come back. It's not like we're picking back anybody who doesn't want to come back,
Notice your belt buckle, little ratten. I am Diala. And to who do I owe the pleasure of hosting in my foyer?
Wretch Braventail,
Mr.
servant of the leader.
Mr. Blaventail, I noticed the symbol on your belt buckle. That is the Lady Dahlia, is it not?
Uh-huh.
Surely she craves beauty as well as life.
Uh-huh.
What is necromancy in some fashions but the celebration and preservation of life?
But the person already died.
Ah, you're hung up on semantics. If Black Phillip has not yet eaten them, then they haven't been recycled anew. And I think, to the point of evil, you should be asking whether or not the source is from the Motleti, should you not? The Motleti, the Hellfire, the place from which fire is born. Necromancy, as the detective will tell you, is simply the recycling of materials. You are made from physical, no? You are made from spiritual, no. Dahlia's realm is the realm of the material. Necromancy is simply that of the spiritual.
I will think on this, but my official stance is I don't like it.
Then you can take it up with your companion in any of the days to come. But for now,
And the leprechaun stands up and as they do, they walk forward with purpose. And as they do, you notice that they, through some weird lighting, they appear to be, like, short when they're far away. But as they get closer and closer to you, they match eye height with you, Emery. As she walks forward, and she gets up right into your face, and you can smell her acrid breath. As she goes,
are you prepared for what comes forward? I will saddle you with your brother at a price. The price, from what I know already, shouldn't be too hard to bear.
I don't suppose you'd let me know what that price is?
Of course. We all have needs. I desire something from the woodlands, and you as a woodland will have a better chance of going through there on your as you are than I ever would have.
Okay, well,
I need a true tear from a weeping willow.
a true tear from a weeping willow.
Yes.
Just writing that down. Does that sound? Do I have any idea what she means?
Do a knowledge nature check.
Knowledge nature.
She needs a vial of tears from a true weeping willow.
Okay. Where did knowledge nature go? Okay.
Do I know that, or does only Emery know that?
You can do a knowledge nature check too. Anyone who wants to see if they know anything can do a knowledge nature check.
Okay. Oh God, this is not going to go well for me.
Okay, I got 1 triumph, 2 success, 3 advantage.
1 advantage. That's it.
Okay. Dustin?
What?
Dustin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm on the mic, but I wasn't sure if I was
Cool.
You didn't
still
have
with
to.
them. All of this is just horrifying to me. Like,
So
I'm too polite.
continue. Sorry.
So I'm standing there with a 1,000-yard stare and crossing my arms so tightly you can probably hear my elbows creaking.
Wallaby gives you a pat on the back and goes, "They're probably gonna be a while. We should go get our chores done." And he
Thank
guides you out.
The gods.
Sure. How big do you think you are? He kind of looks you up and down.
Big enough?
Absolutely. But I mean, if you were to bet your life on dimensions, how big would you say you are?
As he leads you out, he's taking you around, and eventually you see that he ends up at one of these large industrial plants up the mountainside, so to speak, one of the hills. And he starts bartering with a couple of folks, and he picks out a couple of suits, and he goes, "Try this one up." And he hands you a suit which looks like a hazmat suit that zips all the way past the face.
You're gonna want one that fits.
I can tell.
I would round up.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it on. Why am I gonna need this?
It's really just in case the Natari take a disliking to my last time through.
Yeah, so I suppose I'll try it on. See
Yeah.
if it fits.
You go through a couple and you find the right one.
Good. Now let's pray Vivagini is in the right mind so we don't have to use those. Otherwise, we're also gonna need some cinder blocks.
I assume to walk along the bed of a river?
Kinda.
The more I spend time with you, the more disturbing I find you. You're very helpful.
I
do
find
appreciate
yourself a
that quite a lot.
capable man. Hey, I brought brandy and rye whiskey. Sure.
Actually, Hennessy, which I don't know if that's rye whiskey or not.
Oh, Hennessy is cognac.
Okay. He brought Hennessy
Josh.
and he brought brandy.
Thank you for having the expert on the line.
Josh, when setting up the campaign, pick good guys. It's easier to deal with than bad guys. Also, Josh, all the NPCs want to murder and do necromancy.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the bar low for us.
Hey, I set you in a world where it's relatively easy to pursue your own interests.
Depraved that they are.
So he continues on as you guys try to get these suits and whatnot, and then start heading back towards the group. Emery
Yes,
and Wretch. Wretch, you don't know anything about trees. You're like, a weeping willow, a tree. That's all you know. Emery, what you know is that most of the trees that people call weeping willows in this area are descendants of or bear. What's that personification where it's like this looks like a human? They have the
resemblance.
Yeah, these ones have the. What did you say?
Well, they bear resemblance.
Yeah, bear resemblance to. These weeping willows bear resemblance to a timberman, which is like an ent for people who are more familiar with the Lord of the Rings lore. A timberman of a particular sort. That would be what the true weeping willow would be.
Okay.
And their tears are considered to be magical in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Though you don't know what people would be using that for.
Perfect.
So,
Complete.
to perform necromancy, we need to make trees cry. And we're the good guys.
Alright, guys, bring pockets full of trash.
Oh,
Bad guys now.
right?
To be clear,
Literally.
actually, Emery would be not familiar. You don't have to make this tree cry. This tree is a crying tree. It's a weeping willow.
It's just
right?
always crying.
It's just always crying. It's
not me.
From something
Not
that's
my
happened in
fault.
the past, right?
All right. All right.
She goes. Dialogue continues. Be upfront. I know you do not have what I am looking for as of right now, but I can give you your services. However, I will set a timeline on it for moderate insurance, that you bring me back what I desire.
Okay. Sure. That seems fair.
We'll think here. How about on the next toilet? So, 3 days and 20 from now,
Okay.
you'll return to me this vial of tears.
Okay.
And in doing so, your dance with your brother will not turn to ash in your mouth.
Okay. That seems fair. Very nice of you. Sure. Thank you.
Then we have a deal.
Yep.
And deals are something you're going to need to get very familiar with. And she kind of like slowly brings her hand up into your hair. Keep in mind this is a really, really big leprechaun at this point. And as she like slowly like grabs your hair and like your eyes are very close together, you see a little bit as her like you see her face change just a little bit. And you see black skin and pure white eyes flicker as she looks into your soul. And you feel like you are being filled at this point. Like you took a big breath, but it just kept going and going and going, and it feels like it's splitting. She goes, think of your brother. Oliver, are you in there? I would surely ask that you gaze back. And you feel a burning sensation, a twisting and roiling in your body. And in a moment, your jaw seizes in a way that would have clearly bitten off your tongue had it not been by chance that it was within your teeth and not partially out. And for a moment, you lose control of your body. And you hear, who are you? And it goes away and you drop to your knees. Exhausted a bit and feeling... Well, one thing that you feel is that your heart was racing. Bum, 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 bum. and it skips a beat. Bum, 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 bum. It's still racing, but some of the beats you don't feel. And Wretch, when she looks up, you notice that one of her irises has turned green. And within it is a complex, mind-bending symbol that you can't quite pin down.
I am going to pull out my bonking stick and look from the evil leprechaun lady back to Emery, back to the evil leprechaun lady, back to Emery. So, do I bonk? Do I bonk you for being bad? Do I bonk you? Are you bad? Is she controlling you into being bad? Who's getting bonked? Because somebody's getting bonked right now. This is not okay.
The leprechaun folds her arms and relaxes for a moment and looks over at you and goes,
Oh, I sense the desire of yours to do good and make right in this world. Very well. You may have your desires. Granted.
you don't sense anything's happened. But she looks at you and goes,
You'll be set on a path in which you'll find yourself of most use to your god.
and right in that moment, Wallaby and Ilya walk in.
I'm gonna turn to them as they walk in. Why did you leave us here? This got really confusing and scary.
I'm sorry about that.
Well, I have an interesting history with magic, and talking of defying the veil between life and death filled me with deep disgust and dread, but I didn't want to pass judgment when you were trying to solve a family crisis, Emery.
These two looked at each other without consent, and then Emery fell down, and the bad lady's over there. Some stuff's going on. Emery's eyes are all fucked up. This is not okay, and somebody's getting bonked.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I know all about bonking.
I feel like maybe we're getting off on the wrong foot here. It's kind of an odd time to meet me. It's not normally like this. But I feel fine. I think.
Wallaby and Diala exchange glances. Like, Wallaby gives her like the, we good? And
Diala speaks up. It is only a temporary affair. Emery and her brother wished to link arms for a few days is all. And I provided the services to do so. Now, I think you guys...
Wallaby goes,
I think we have pressing affairs in the woodlands if everyone's ready to, take to heart the tasks that have been put on our plate. Yes?
Let's leave this place. This place sucks. I'm leaving. I'm dragging my bonk stick. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm equipped with a two-handed mace, but I call it my bonk stick. I'm dragging it along the ground. It's like loudly clanking on things as I'm very disheartened by this whole interaction.
as you guys head down the red lit halls, Wallaby goes,
Oh, that's very noble of character of you, Mr. Braventail, to open your mind and be willing to accept some folks for their current predicament. Now, if you wouldn't mind potentially just hardening your heart for but a moment and carrying that stick perhaps over your shoulder as we journey on this next leg, that way we don't draw too much attention to ourselves in the general streets.
Okay. I put it back on my back so my hands are free.
Hey, you guys step out of the disco room, and
The disco.
and Wallaby takes a big, deep breath of air. I'm gonna miss the burn this place. And he walks over, and there's a small ladder that heads down into the slurry. And goes, oh, and then like hops down and starts like sliding down the ladder to get down into the muck.
You have to go down in that.
Well, I mean,
I'm
it's
also
only
quite eager to
temporary.
leave.
What was that, Austin?
I'm also quite eager to leave.
Schooner out. The schooner in, the schooner out. I always say.
Oh, just like that place from earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry for all the trouble, everyone. Yes, let's get on our way.
You know, fun story. I actually helped Dollar name that place. And he continues off in general banter as you guys walk through a series of roads, stepping and slipping in various sorts of detritus. Eventually, he comes to a spot where a whole building is raised up on stilts, or on stone stilts, or just columns, anyways. And
Those are called columns, yes.
And as he heads into this space, you see several large figures start to make their presence known by stepping out from behind some of these columns.
What do these large figures look like?
As your eyes adjust to the dimmer lighting underneath this space, you see a couple figures with large mandibles. One which appears to be much smaller than a couple of the other ones, but is zipping around on like firefly wings behind them, and lands onto one of the walls, and appears to have a set of really gnarly pincer like fingers that are able to clamp onto the column itself. And you hear one of them kind of stalk forward, looks at Wallaby and goes, "You have a lot of nerve coming into the slurry after last time. Gentlemen, I bring ill tidings simply as a gift for the where am I? On my notes. For the where were we? Jesus, I got notes everywhere. Okay, simply a gift for the Natal. If you would happen to bring me to Vivigini. What makes you think that we won't just peel out your spine here? Well, then you wouldn't be able to know what tidings I bring, and you will never make it back to Paratigio. And that kind of like a couple of them, you see like their antennas kind of perk up with the sound with that statement. He goes, "Dare I say it's on the table?" One of them speaks up in the back. Maybe let the boss discuss this with him if that's the measure of this situation. You have never known me to exaggerate, have you? Well, don't answer that. May I say that the Branch have gone too far this time, and you might find yourself able for a reinforcement. Say no more. And they guide you guys further down into this slurry and into some appears to be like some buildings that have like sunk here before, and buildings have been built over those buildings, and they open up a dilapidated steel door that opens up, and there's a cavern. It like opens up to stairs that go down into like a cavern type system with strange glowing plant life that looks like there's like a mushroom growing out of one of the walls that seems to have like a despairing face in it. Like it's like, but it's a mushroom. And as they finally lead you guys through this space, they end up in a place of just a foul odor. It's like rusted wet iron mixed with dead, rotten roadkill. And you hear droplets. And eventually you can see that there's a couple errant rays of light at weird angles piercing into what seems to be a cavernous space. Though it has certain parts of it with like plaster walls that have crumbled and fallen over and have proceeded to melt. And where you see the drips, you see that it actually hisses whenever it hits any sort of concrete-like material coming from the surface above. And the faint puddles in this space have a oily, viscous sheen to them. Up amongst some of the other creeping masses in this space, you see something move and shift on the roof of the cavern, and you see a great pair of wings unfold. A large figure lands, probably 20 strides in front of you, and it slowly gets up off of its. It was landed in like a single knee posture, but you see what almost looks like a dung beetle horn. It's like the horn that goes up and is like, I don't know, kind of tease a little bit, crowning up off of his helm as he kind of rears his head slowly but surely, almost like a rhinoceros horn. Big, broad shoulders are used to hang arms that go all the way to the floor, even as he stood up on his hind legs. And the wings themselves are like that of a giant beetle's on his back. And as he stands up, he looks down towards you guys. And in a almost like fuzzy, deep voice, it's almost like if you were to make a static TV speak, you hear, "You have brought tidings. You have also brought guests amongst the Natari. Speak your case, for your debts are many, Wallaby. Long have our people, the Esuelun, and the Tekepnu, had great standings amongst you. And I do not come as simply Wallaby. I come as a member of the Bracken Bastion. And I am here to tell you that the Branch have gone too far. They made a mistake in harming one of my friends. And I simply means to give you this information free of charge. If you could look upon my previous debts and consider them waived, I'd consider that an advantage. If you could consider this maybe a bonus towards them and allow me to get back to them at a later time, that'd be great too. You speak in a circle, dancing about like a mayfly. To the heart of it, then. Have you heard the name, Archek? Indeed. You see, Archek's a delegate at Paratigium, and the Branch crushed him right in front of me, asking about something they held dear. For it touched on the very interests of the cries of reparation. I dare not speak further on the item itself, but
I will be heading to the Barrack and Bastion along with my compatriots here. The Paratisium is not a very far place away.
What is the word you're saying?
The Paratisium.
Thank you.
Surely the Queen will have been spurred to action from this. My thoughts is exactly. This is exactly what you need to invoke war with the Branch. Nay, it is your duty. Mayhaps it'll allow a few of you to redeem yourself and be brought back into the fold of the hive. Indeed. How can I trust your word? The word of an informant is sacred. I would slit my own wrists and allow you to devour me whole if I was speaking nothing but the truth. Have I ever led you astray?
Don't answer that.
Kind of the figure in front of him, which you guys take to be Vivigeni, looks him up and down with what appears to be like a circle of eyes, maybe 9 or 10 in total underneath, and you can see him because of the refractory of like light, tiny little specks of light along them. Very well. We will take this information and you will bring news to the Paratisium on our behalf, telling them of our good deeds in avenging Archek. He goes, very well, we'll just be on our way. Oh, one more thing. Would you happen to be able to allow us into the Wage, perchance? Maybe a small retinue just to get us through there. No problem, right? I mean, especially for Vivigeni, the controller of the Ways. There's
of the ways.
The Ways. Yep.
Okay.
There's a pregnant pause.
As the DM looks at his notes. Okay, I was right.
I had to get to a very specific thing. And after what seems like maybe 15 seconds, Vivigeni speaks again. From the earth we grow, to the earth we go, for that is the task of the dwellers below. Nay, the ways will be respected, and I nor anyone hold sway. Very well, very well. Well, folks, we have a date. Shall we get out of town? Greener pastures.
Sure.
Wunderbar. All right, Ilya. We don't need to be saying, let's go to a place that's more respectable for your height. And he leads you guys back up and out of... you guys are kind of escorted out of the slurry and back towards daylight, and you guys find yourselves climbing up and out back onto the stilts, and eventually making your way through town towards an area that is close to the one font of Ranvalar, that is currently springing forth water from the dam.
What's Ravelar?
Ranvalar is a god. He's the god of teamwork and cooperation. Okay. And so the fonts of Ranvalar are basically just the dwarves of Agatus have a relationship with the city of Lamore, and they turn on and off these dams, and they get paid money for basically turning on these highways and turning off these highways and stuff like that. So,
okay.
But long story short, you guys find yourselves coming towards a massive smokestack with multiple fat buildings built up next to it, but also a few small shanties. And Wallaby spends some time. It appears to be just making small talk with someone, and then he asks for them to let him through, and they kind of lead him through the house, and you see that they're like going through several people's living rooms, and he's like waving at a couple people by name and stuff like that. And one of the last people is this average-looking orc. It looks like he's maybe 30, 40 years old, a life of hard labor. And he gestures up towards a hatch in the roof. Actually, not even a hatch in the roof. It looks like a small staircase has kind of made its way into the house. And there appears to be like a piece of tin that's lying on one of the stairs, and then across to where the roof is. And you see that there's some water dripping through from the mists of one of the fonts. And then he goes, "Well, after last turn's scald spell, I'd be hard pressed to deny it, Wallaby. So, whatever you need, that's the staircase right there." He goes, "Great!" And he walks over and goes, "Now, could anyone give me a bump up?" Looking at the rest of the crew.
Suppose I'd be the one for that.
Probably.
And giving him a foot up, he kind of reaches up and grabs onto this rusty old steel staircase that appears to be bolted to the side of what is now easily visible as the outside wall of the smokestack.
Oh, don't cut your hand.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I haven't used these in a while. And he pulls out from his belt a pair of leather gloves and puts them on, and kind of wiggles himself up onto this piece of kind of shaky, rusted out iron, and reaches down to help pull up anyone else who wants to follow him up. Freedom awaits, wretch.
Okay. I grab on.
And you guys spend a couple of moments just wiggling everyone up onto this platform, and he kind of pushes the tin out of the way and goes, "Ah! Hope you guys don't mind stairs." Looking up, you can see the staircase slowly starts to spiral up the smokestack, out of sight, kind of curving around it, clockwise.
Like up.
Up.
Not so sure about heights. I mean, never thought I was afraid of them before, but
Well, I think that everyone's been facing some of their fears and coming out for the best of it today. Have we not? Tried to see the lizard, or, fight the Onyx and the, Harvesters, so... I've done it before, if it helps you at all. There's only a couple of stairs that fell through last time.
yes.
And he goes and he slides the piece of tin back in place. He goes, "You're a gem, Henri!" And turns around and... how do you guys want to proceed? Who's in front?
Go first.
Rich is in front.
Okay.
I'll lead up the rear.
Okay. As you make your way up the stairs, you feel the groaning of this structure. As you see some of the bolt, some of the fittings where the bolt is, like the bolt has slightly come out, but the piece of metal is still hanging on it. You can see like the bolt is doing one of those things where when it comes out just far enough where it starts to do one of these, but it's still caught in position from the weight. There's several spots that are doing that. And every now and then there's a stair that is just completely gone. Rotted through, or the supports have broken away. Slowly.
Okay.
Tread carefully.
This does not look safe.
Moving forward, Wretch, as you are in the lead, can you give me a mechanics check?
No.
You may give me a mechanics check, or an investigation check. Actually, it'd be vigilance. Sorry, it'd be vigilance, not investigation.
Hell yeah, we'll do vigilance wherever.
Just keep saying skills until he seems satisfied.
There we go. Yeah, I have 4 dice on vigilance, 2 on anything else that you had suggested. 2 and 3.
2 and 3? Okay.
2 and 3.
So you feel, as you're walking up the steps, you feel one about to give underneath your foot, and you slowly let up off of it before it does. And you see that it's connected to like the next 2 steps. So there's 3 whole steps that appear to be compromised in front of you. But luckily you're able to catch it before you put too much weight on it to make it give away.
That's a bad one.
And
Don't go on that one.
As you are up here now, the very sound of the waterfalls coming from the dam, the smoke billowing up and out of this active smokestack. You hear and feel a vibration in your chest, and you can feel an acrid mixture of water and smoke fill the air the further up you go.
Don't like that.
That is in fact not conducive to breathing.
What do you guys do?
I mean, I'd keep pressing on.
Okay. Are you going to try to like carefully tiptoe over those steps? Are you going to try to jump the 3? None of the above?
Wretch would try to just jump over the questionable ones.
Okay. Alright, if that's what you're doing, go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Okay. I am good enough at those. 3 and 2.
Okay. You kind of take a couple steps back, and then you 1 step, 2 step, and you leap. You land on the opposite side, and you see those 3 stairs crumble away. You are now standing on, like, the step that you are on is the bottom step of the space you are now on, and whoever is next sees the full gap that is there.
Oh no. That's not... I, like, look down, as stupid as it is. Oh, no!
Give me a discipline check.
Oh. Oops.
Remember, Emery, you look where you want to go, and that's not the way you want to go.
The advantage, no success.
You are terrified. You get a setback die until you get away from the ledge.
I don't know if I can jump that. Do I see anything where I could, like, creep along the wall or something like that, or, you know?
You know what? As the material, as the metal ripped away from the wall, you do see that there's some spots where you could have handholds in the concrete. The space itself isn't very big, but these steps were definitely made the most cost-effective way, meaning that there's not like the rise to the run is definitely like not your traditional stairs. The space that you would have to jump is actually fairly significant.
Yeah. Okay, I have a rope. Wretch, if you would be a deer. And I, like, toss you, like, an end of the rope.
Okay. I try to...
I went first, being the most strapping of the 3, and held on to the rope.
You could also just boost her from the bottom, too.
I was thinking, yeah.
I suppose I could try.
It's fine if I'm cool with him going first, too. That's fine. Whatever.
Or you could hold that end, I could hold this end, and then the fearful one could shimmy and the rope doesn't fall.
If you think you're strong enough to hold it, then yeah, I think that would work too.
You are a very rude man.
That is I'm just asking for an honest assessment.
Maybe I'm older
I'm
than
as
I
strong
look.
as I need to be.
Hey, buddy, I believe in you. I just
Yeah,
want to make sure that you
I do.
believe in you.
I just
That's
the
all.
greatest.
would rather it just
All right.
not be
I
dropped,
love
you
that
know?
enthusiasm.
All right.
Rope's just there as like a little protection, little comfort. Be fine. All right, we're doing it.
So what's going on?
They're each
So-
holding it.
We're each holding an end, and we're holding it taut so that Emery can like shimmy slowly across.
So you two need to support her entire weight, and she needs to support her weight while climbing a rope.
I thought I was like along the wall, like.
Okay,
Oh.
so is the rope going to be... Yeah, exactly. So is the rope going to be tied to you and it's slack just in case you fall? Or is it tied to you and they're pulling on you while you're trying to climb? Sideways and up.
Could we now, if I understand that correctly, couldn't we hold the rope tight against her so that like if she even tries to fall backwards, the rope holds her next to the wall?
You could do that. You would need to pull it taut. Like... Yeah, you'd need to pull it really, really taut, and then both of you would need to wrap yourselves towards the concrete. You could do that and have it, like, bracing her back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. What's your encumbrance? How many points left of encumbrance do you have before you're maxed out? For the boys.
I have 2 left.
2 left, and Ilya, I think that... So if you look on your equipment area, on the bottom, it should say encumbrance, and then your threshold, it should say, like, 6 of 8, or something like that.
Yep.
Okay, so that means you have 2 points left. A human being weighs 5, if they're not having anything else. So the 2 of you could each take 2 of her encumbrance, basically taking her encumbrance down to 1. So what I'm going to say is that you get 4 boost dice on your athletics check.
Okay. And a setback.
And it's set back because you're terrified and shaking, yes.
Do you want me to roll that or you?
Huh? I got it. I'm adding it to my side. And...
Okay, so it's 3, 4, and 4.
With the help of the boys, you make it across unscathed.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Very welcome.
That was scary.
Greta, good teamwork already. Now, if you just don't mind, you see Wallaby, like, making his way over, like, grabbing the rope and, like, putting it to the outside of him. He goes, "If you don't mind, boys, I will just be following the likes of the lady." Are you guys gonna hold the rope for him?
I guess we need him.
Sure.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, he is not athletic. Okay. He makes it over just fine with the help of you guys. Otherwise, he would not have made it.
Do I have time to grab a drink?
If you guys would like to take a quick intermission here in just a moment, we can do that here in about 3 minutes.
Okay.
It's just you, Ilya.
Okay. So, it's athletics.
Yep. Are you just jumping?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So you take your brawn, and that's how many dice you have. And they're all green until you then look at your athletics, and you upgrade that many to yellows.
okay. They correct that. 3 and a 1.
You take a couple steps. You take one step back, and you just right over like there's nothing to it to the other side. Another rattle on the stairs, and Wallaby goes, "I think I'm gonna make my way." And he
Yeah, okay, sure.
Excellent idea.
keeps going, and you guys spend another 10 minutes making your way up to the top of the smokestack. And as you guys get up higher, the sound of the rushing water doesn't give away with the distance. In fact, as you make your way up to the top of the stairs, it opens up onto a approximately 8-foot wide ledge of concrete that wraps around in a big circle. And a big plume of smoke is coming up and out of it. And you hear rushing water from down inside. And seeing across the expanse to the other side, you can estimate that this thing is roughly 25 feet across in diameter. And you can see pipes, small parts of pipes coming into the smokestack, and fluids coming out of them, rushing down into the smokestack as steam comes up. And Wallaby looks at you guys and goes, "Well, not my first choice, but behold, our way out."
Are we traveling around the lip of the smokestack?
Nope.
Oh.
I'll give you another guess.
Down into the smokestack.
Like I said, not my first choice, but this leads directly to the ways and out of Lemoore. Now, it does lead to a couple of dead ends, so I strongly recommend we bring the concrete over with us, because it'll guaranteed you get you to the bottom and to the main stream. I brought the chutes. Chutes should keep you fairly safe from the corrosive chemicals. Just make sure that you cut yourself free from the stone once you get to the bottom. Otherwise, you'll drown to death. But make sure that you tie yourself to the stone, because if you accidentally let go of it when you jump, you'll be sucked into a dead end of turmoil from all of the fonts on your way down, and you will suffocate and die. But, other than that, he kind of looked over and starts pulling on a pant leg of one of the hazmat suits. He goes, "Other than that, at least none of us are claustrophobic, because there's no way of seeing out of these things." And in the background, you hear a faint noise. And a flutter from one of the pipes as a wing stretches out. And you see something stand up on one of those pipes, one of the outlets, and slowly shake itself loose. Like a dog would that's wet. And it looks up, bends down, it pushes itself up, and its wings spread out, and it floats to 30 feet up to be level with you guys. You see a lion-like creature with the face of a human. Great leathery wings protruding from its sides. And the tail that wraps around, and you see a snake, a mimicry of a snake head on the tip of the tail.
It's a chimera.
And it's got yellowish, greenish, bile varicose veins on it. And it looks to be almost protruding in certain areas, like it's bloated in some way, shape, or form. And that is where we'll take a quick break. for folks to grab drinks and stuff like that.
Do you have a Dungeon Alchemist map for the next little part?
Oh yeah, I can actually
Yeah.
bring that over here.
Nick Rightface was curious about them, so.
Yeah, here we go. So I'll get this ready, and we can get some drinks and stuff like that going.
Okay, baby.
Oh, I gotta do something over here, because this is the first time that Dustin got into the game, so I can actually update his character as it being him. So, edit.
Alright.
Easy, greasy, kind of slow. I have no idea.
Whoop.
Whoop. Ugh. I'm back.
You can roll cool for initiative. And I'm going to go.
All right. I always thought a few beers helps with role playing. I have cranberry juice and vodka, but yeah, it helps. And Jeremy, I just got to the part in Rising of the Shield Hero where they met the second princess, and then they told her to fuck right on off, and then she rejoined them anyway after an assassination attempt. It's pretty good. It's one of those shows that makes like. I regret when I have to go do something, you know? And I'm like, God, I just want to sit here and watch this. But I will say, everyone is being very stupid. Everyone is being very dumb. Like, the King's Guard tries to assassinate the princess in front of her. And then at the fire that night, she's like, why can't you just tell my dad that you're sorry? And I'm like, what? How is this his fault? Like, how is any of this his fault? He literally just tried to kill you. And she's like, just tell him you're sorry. And then they keep trying to kill her, and she just keeps blaming the shield hero, not for that, but like saying, like, just say you're sorry to my dad, and somehow that relates to he'll stop trying to kill me. Like, I know it's the sister trying to kill her, but again, I'm just like, this second princess is, less of that.
What is this? Sorry.
It's an anime Jeremy recommended to me. It's pretty good.
Fair enough.
It's Rising the Shield Hero, and like the basic premise of it is there's this world that like there's people in the modern day, and there's people in like this fantasy realm, and people from the fantasy realm cast a spell to summon the 4 heroes who are like religious deities to them. And it's the spear, sword, shield, and bow heroes.
Okay.
And yet everyone is a giant dick to the shield hero, and the guy who got summoned to be the shield hero is like, why does everybody hate me so much? And he's trying to figure that out while fighting demons and stuff. So it's kind of like like a fantasy mystery adventure thing. It's pretty good.
Cool.
What's up?
It's all good.
Just talking to someone in chat about a show.
Ka-choo.
I'm assuming we have to roll for initiative. It's like
Cool.
that thing?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Presence, that is a 2.
It's
My
fun.
character's average at everything except for willpower.
You see-
2 success, nothing else.
Wow, me too.
Presence?
Cool. It's
Cool
all
is
based
presence.
off of presence.
And that's green?
If you have no stats into presence, then yeah, it would just be your cool. Sorry, it would just be. You have no stats into cool, then it's just your presence, which would be green.
Okay.
What's your-
3.
No,
Wow.
geez, bud.
I am mediocre except scrappy. Ilias is very good at one thing. That's a bonking.
Um,
Well, you guys can.
So despite-
rotate over.
having a leg of this hazmat suit on, Wallaby's the first to act, and he looks around and he goes, "Great Scotch mantle!" And he goes hops he's like hopping on one leg right next to this abyssal chasm, and like tries to get his leg off of out of the hazmat suit and puts it away, and you see him brandish a dagger, which he flips around in his hands so that its tip is in one hand, and he pulls a sickle from his other, from his backside, straight from the bum. No, he's got a sickle that was hidden away somewhere in his in the leathers of his jacket, and it appears to have a. Guys, stop throwing the bone around. It appears to have some sort of sheen to it. This is not steel. This is silver. And he kind of looks at it and he goes, "Well, that wasn't here last time. Bloody nuisance. Pets in the city are the worst." And he kind of looks at it and just yeah, back. And he's gonna
Very convincing. Thank you.
he's gonna face it, I suppose. And let's see, this range I think is short. Oh, 3,
The
unfortunately.
chimera goes away, and battle's
And
done.
that's that.
We startled it, that
Yeah.
was it.
So he's going to move, and his speed is 3. He's gonna go 1. Actually, you know what? He's not gonna move. He goes, kind of looks over and goes, well, it's not coming any closer, is it? And he kind of looks over at Ilya. You're kind of built for this sort of thing, aren't you? How about you give it a shot? And that's going to be his turn. He just has a dagger ready to rock if this thing gets any closer. And ironically, it's Ilya's turn.
All right.
So-
That doesn't look like it can be reasoned with. So
something to
Right,
just because I know you're new to this system, you have 2 maneuvers on your turn. One of them can be an action. The action is basically the only thing that's different for an action is attack, but you'll see on your cheat sheet options for maneuvers and options for actions. You may spend 2 stamina to perform a 3rd maneuver on your turn. That would be like grapple or drink a potion. Moving is a maneuver. So you can do 2 of pretty much anything and pretty much 1 attack for brass taxes here. Some things that could be actions would be like lifting up a heavy steel door. I would require that be an action, meaning that you can't do that and attack on the same turn. Your movement speed is equal to your agility in squares. So you can move up to 4 spaces in a single maneuver.
oh, okay.
And the steam does block vision to the spaces that it's blocking vision to, currently. That's not just a background effect.
Oh, that's across from us.
I made a try. See, it moves.
Neat. Okay, so that,
Yes, it is across from you.
but it is grounded.
We lost you in the Discord, Bubs.
Oh,
I lost Mr. Overlord in Discord.
Oh gosh.
am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yes.
Woo!
You're back without video.
No, I'm back with the video.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about that.
I blame Corp.
Okay, so the Chimera is as it's depicted on the little map, and it is grounded.
No, it's hovering. But yeah, it's for your purposes, it's within melee range, from those
Okay.
spaces.
So I'm going to.
We'll just say for fuck's sakes, it fucking landed there.
Okay. So do I get penalties for moving through allied spaces?
Nope.
Okay, so my agility is 4.
You just can't end in them.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I move up real close and turn to my new rat and friend and says, "I hope you're ready for some bonking."
Okay. I like bonking.
And as you say that, okay.
Okay.
You hear, and the tail kind of like flicks forward and whips around. It's not nearly close enough to get you, but I need you to give me a ranged defense check. And if you look at your, give me a. So if you look at your, let me just see here quick. Slide stream sheets. I'm just pulling up your sheets for a moment. You should, because I added your shield to your stats, but I did not. I failed to add it to your defense and deflect. It gives you +2. So in your equipment spot, you see where it says base, and then it says abilities, and then it says equipment for your defense.
Yes.
Sorry. You should have 2 in each of the equipment spots, and that should be added to your base for your total in the top.
Oh, yeah. Because you gave him, like...
I gave him a shield, but didn't update them. So you get 4 black dice for this roll of defense, but you also get 1 generic purple die as well.
Okay.
And he would need to move 1 space in order to do this.
You had some really exciting music going, and now it's gone.
Okay, 1 moment. Thank you. Just,
I like this atmosphere.
Yeah, I've been
I did
trying.
not like my character trying to face the enemy. I flipped him back.
Okay. So the 4 arrows in a ring pointing towards the center, is that a failure?
The 4 arrows pointed in a ring towards the center.
That would be a threat.
Oh. 2 failure, 2 threat.
Okay, 1 second. It should say at the bottom of the app too.
Oh. Yeah, 2 failure, 2 disadvantage.
Correct.
There you go.
Which is threat. Yep. And I just need to fucking figure out what I'm rolling because I've been bouncing around. Things have been flicking around on my screen. Okay, agility. That's range. Okay. 2. Okay, you said 2 failure, 2 threat?
Yeah, 2 failure, 2 disadvantage.
Yep, sorry. Same thing. Okay, so he hits you. Your shield catches what it feels like a splash, and you smell smoke as you are hit with 7 damage.
Ooh. So how this system works is that you have soak on your sheet as well. So that takes away part of the damage.
You feel a faint you feel a burning on your skin, but to the naked eye, it's not immediately apparent what burnt you. Yeah, so your soak is 3, which actually your equipment. Sorry, I didn't update this one either. You have a 1 in equipment, making this a 4. So you only took 3 damage because you have leather armor that gave you +1 on that as well. And now everything should be up to date in your sheets.
Okay, so then the wounds. I got a 3 there.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking at your sheet here real quick just to double check, just because I know that we had a couple weird things come up. Toughen gave you +2 health. Grit gave you +1 strength. So that should be. Did you get two levels in tough? Oh wait, am I looking at Sarah's sheet? What the hell am I doing? Yeah, so you should have +1 here for grit and +2 here, meaning that this would be 15. And this would be 13 here. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Yeah, because you got 1 level of tough and you got 1 level of grit. So you get +2 health and +1 strength to your thresholds. That's how that math works. But anyways, just getting some clerical stuff out of the way.
Yep.
Had to do a little bit of admin.
So long story short, you take 7 damage, but 4 of it's soaked, so you should have a 3 in your wounds.
That's the math I understand.
Booyah! Okay. Hard stuff is over. Alright, so yeah, he
yeah, we just have to do this thing.
so he whips something at you. Everyone else, you saw something kind of flit through the air, but it was really hard to make out in your eyes. And then this thing is going to it's going to juke back into the smoke.
Well, that's not nice.
Not even a little.
And then it's Rex's turn.
Kick. I go to the smoke. What's my speed? 2. Okay. I go to the smoke.
Okay.
I don't really feel like using strain this early to run into the smoke, so I'm gonna walk up here and I can defensive stance, right?
Yep, that's yeah, you just get a black die on all attacks targeting you, and you get a black die on your next turn. That's a generic maneuver.
Okay. I'll downgrade my action to do that because I can't see in the smoke, but I am so ready to beat up this thing when I find it.
When I find it.
Alright. So he moves forward. Emery, what do you do?
Let me check here. Okay, I don't have a trap ready yet. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make like a little something to ensnare its feetsies.
Alright.
Is that a survival check, right?
Yep. Do you have anything in particular that you're making, or what's your? Because you don't have like a specific ability, right? Or what are you?
I don't have a specific ability for making traps.
Okay, so you're trying to make just a generic trap right now.
Generic trap. Yeah, I'm not trying to do magic trap because I need a physical trap first.
Okay, so are you using some of your how many supplies?
I'm using 5 rarity 1 supplies.
Okay.
I have 10. I have up to 10 if you need more, but I think it's 5.
5 would be fine. So if it lands next to you, you want to be able to pull it, taunt, and snare it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold it in place.
Yeah, you're making a lasso.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
Okay.
what's the slip whatever. The one that's on the floor. Yeah, that you just have on the floor and it snags around the foot. Yeah.
Yep. Are you intending to magic it in the future?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'll decrease the difficulty of making this trap, but this is your action. 1 failure.
1 triumph, 2 success, 2 advantage.
Okay. So in the time that you managed to be able to do this, you yourself have a large cinder block that was in your bag. Not as big as the ones that were carried up here, but you basically tie a rope to it. You make a lasso, and you get ready to kick it off the ledge as if it steps into this spot. Or it'll pull its foot out from underneath of it and pull it taut.
Okay.
And then what spot would you like that in?
So that was an action to make, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there is good. That's perfect.
Okay.
I was gonna. Well, do I have a maneuver where I can move up and then put it further up?
Yep.
Okay. Can I do that?
Sure.
You know. Can I step here, or is that?
That is on the ledge.
That is on the ledge. So what if I go like
Well,
here?
but it's like you're not gonna have to do any checks if you're on that spot. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. And so I want it there.
Okay. Okay. Placing down the trap. Back to Wallaby's turn. He goes, well, we seem to have it cornered in the steam. I'll, he kind of walks back to it, and huzzah! And like jumps back out on the other side. And he's got his dagger ready. And he's just ready for this thing comes this way. He's gonna pelt it with the dagger. Back to Ilya.
I mean, we made this side seem really intimidating. So
Yeah. I don't want to run into that steam. So I'm going to again 3. Just gonna hop over here. Hold on a minute. See what happens.
Okay.
you can do like a guard type stance where like be ready to be attacked or something like that too.
You can hold your action as well. That's an option, which is you reserve your action for a specific thing. Like, I'm going to hold my action to attack it if it comes within melee range. And you can just, like, keep an action back that way.
I think I'll do that. Just hold the action.
Okay. From the steam, another bout of spray comes and hits everyone but Ilya.
God damn it.
Yeah, you just see the smoke, and like for a brief moment, you see eyes through the smoke, and you hear as a spray comes out, helping the three of you.
How spooks.
Dustin, can you roll one purple die for me for actually one purple die and one black die for Wallaby?
This is range defense, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And you guys both,
So,
all of you still have your story points as well.
1 failure, 1 disadvantage.
Okay.
Right.
4 threat, no failure.
Okay. Okay, so Wretch take 8 soakable damage. Wallaby's going to take. Oop, nope, I don't want that. He's going to take 7 soakable damage. And then what'd you get, Emery?
2 failure.
2 failure.
I will never roll that good again.
You duck aside as this stuff goes spewing about, like, all around this ledge here. But as you duck aside, you get precariously close to that ledge.
Say, never mind, that's bad.
The next thing that you notice is actually, never mind. That's it for that right there. But what does happen is
I also don't like the never mind.
No, never mind.
You
Right.
noticed. Never
Just
mind.
don't you worry about that.
All right, so let's just do this. There we go. Okay, it is over to Wretch's turn. Wretch, feeling that burning on your skin, the second thing that you notice is, while it doesn't actually give me a perception check.
Okay. There's perception. 2 and 1.
2 and 1. Okay. What you notice is that all 3 of these squares are lit up with, you see small bluish lines dancing along the ground, and you are like, oh dear, it's fire. This ground is coated in an almost invisible fire. It's an alcohol fire. If you end your turn in those spaces, you will take burn 2. Every space that you move through in those spaces, you will take 2 damage.
Can I ask a side question on map stuff?
Sure.
The white or the cream edges that you have, the stone, is that?
That is the top of the. That's the perimeter of the smokestack. Everything down below is buildings down, way down in the distance.
Okay, so that's way far away. Okay.
Yep. Yep. That it is easily 100 feet.
Okay.
I fear nothing. 2 damage, 4 damage, and then I'm gonna strain myself 2 to run into the smoke.
Okay, and that is not soakable.
Yep, I figured. Otherwise, that would be pointless.
Okay. Give me a perception check
Okay.
and add 2 boost dice.
Okay. I'm gonna need those because I didn't roll super great. 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yes.
Okay. Running in, you catch sight of the winged beast, but only faint patterns of it as it flits back and forth. It's going to have partial cover from the smoke, but you can target it. It is, ironically, directly in front of you. Yeah, you guys. That's not on the right. That's funny. I had it on the DM thing, so it would be hard to see. But you ran right to this spot. I didn't move it.
That's funny.
All right, bonking time.
Alrighty, give me a melee check.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Fine, gets the bonk.
And just
I
so
do
you guys are
like
aware,
the bonk.
it is 9 o'clock. I intend to wrap this up after this structured encounter.
Okay.
If that works for you.
I rolled 5 and 3.
2 failure.
So
Actually, 1 failure because he's large.
Okay, so 4 and 3. Heavy mace. Its crit is 3 plus 3 damage plus my willpower, so it's 4. So 11 damage.
Just so
And
you're
then
aware, if you're going to spend advantage on him, it requires double the amount to trigger the ability because he is large.
Okay. Then we'll just do the 11 damage, and then I don't have enough advantage to use disorient or crit on him. So I guess I'll get a strain and a wound back.
And did you add your black die from your doing defensive stance last turn?
No, I presumed you did, but
Okay.
I just rolled it, and it is blank.
I did too, and it was also blank, so we're good. All right,
Okay.
crack! You feel a couple of its teeth breaking with the impact of your hammer across its face, and it wiggles and writhes before you. Way to go, Bonk Stick. Emery, what do you do?
Oh man. You don't want to be in this fire at all. I'm going to... I'm going to animate this trap with my magic.
Okay.
So that it, like, is more likely to snag him as he comes by.
Okay.
Sorry, Sean Connery's rubbing off. Snag him.
Wallaby always rubs off.
Oh.
Hey.
Alright.
What's the
It's
difficulty?
an easy check. But I'm disturbed now, so I'm probably gonna roll back.
I'm adding a black die from your fear next to that ledge.
My fear of him rubbing.
One threat.
Alright, I got a triumph, 3 success, and 2 advantage, so...
Wow.
Yeah. So this says, for the magic trap, infuse an organic trap with the following: it becomes sentient and will detonate when someone tries to disarm or circumnavigate it. Increase the difficulty of doing that by my successes, and the detection by the advantage.
Okay, so it's got 1 extra advantage, but 3 successes, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And the triumph. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can the triumph be that I get it to move closer to him?
Yeah. Yeah, it slithers forward as you
Kind of like a
push it
snake?
forward in its spine. And what I would say is that with the triumph, as it moves forward, so it's I'm gonna say that it's not damaged by the actually yeah, I'm gonna say that it's not damaged by the fire too, because it's rope sitting in an alcohol fire. So
Okay.
you hold it together, but I'm gonna make it concentration for that to hold, if you'd like it to not be burning through the fire.
Okay,
So
I will step away and then do concentration.
you don't have to do concentration until next round.
Oh, until next round? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Definitely want to get out of the fire, so.
Gotcha. So the rope slithers forward into the smoke and then goes limp by all appearances. The stone dragging forward and then it does one of those things where like it falls off the ledge and then there's a small pipe there that it goes like to, so like it like wraps itself around a pole that seems to be a broken piece of like rebar or something sticking out of the concrete inside the space there. Okay, that was Emery. Back to Wallaby. And he's going, well, no guts, no glory, or I'll run, we'll have your balls. And with that, he goes, way to go, Rich! He backs up.
Asshole.
What a dickhead.
Let's see. Let's work counter.
Says the other person who backs off, but whatever. I did something.
Wretch is the only one here with a spine. Well, Ilya's trying to have a spine. He just picked the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I went right after him, and he scooted on away.
Oh, he can actually, he's got an ability, so he backs up and he goes, way to go, Rich! And then he looks over at he kind of goes, and you son of a goat fucking donkey! I don't know what birth you, but this will be the end of you! And he's gonna do Smooth Talker. And can someone roll me the two purple dice, please?
Sure. 1 and 1.
1 and 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Apply your uncancelled success advantages, failure, and threat to their next check. Okay. So the next person whom this thing attacks gets 2 failures added to the results of their defense. Ilya, it's your turn.
I'm gonna head into the smoke because it seems like there's some effective bonking going on.
There is some
Don't
effective
wanna
bonking.
miss out on the bonks.
3, 4. Am I close enough to engage him?
Give me a perception check.
Ooh,
Boo.
At this point, it's fighting with Wretch, and so its visibility has been aided, so to speak. But I am still going to allow it to check.
Perception. Where's my perception?
I think the correct
Oh.
term is it has been thoroughly
Wait.
bonked.
Perception/senses is agility?
Perception is because agility is the keenness of your body. So keen of sight, keen of hearing, being able to do backflips. Yeah, so perception is based off of that. Vigilance, which is willpower, is your ability to pick up things by sheer force of will. So it's like staying awake. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 success, 3 advantage.
Yeah, the wings bat some of the smoke out of the way, and you just hone in on this thing.
Okay, theoretically, how hard would it be to bull rush this thing and flip it on its back?
I believe Bull Rush is a versus ability, so you would be against its brawn or its athletics. It's a maneuver to look at something and try to determine some of its like stats, so to speak. Otherwise, you're gonna have to just go by your gut here. It's the size of a lion. In fact, it's a little bit bigger.
I'm pretty strong. Yeah, I'm flipping a lion over on his back, so it's really hard. I think I'm just gonna stab him really, really hard.
Get stabbing, buddy.
Okay. So my damage is +4. So that's just 4 green die?
No, so just go ahead and do a melee light check.
Okay. Melee light. I have 2 ranks in that. Okay, so... One triumph, 3 success, and 3 advantage.
1 failure, 1 threat. So just remove 1 failure and 1 threat from your roll, and that's what you have.
2 success, 2 advantage, and a triumph?
Yep. So 2 success. Now add your sword damage. So +4
Plus
is
4.
6. Now add your brawn.
Which is... +3.
+3.
Wait. I have 2 ranks in melee light.
So you'd have 2 yellow dice on your roll.
Yes. Yeah, so it's 2 success, 2 advantage, and a triumph. Then you add the damage, so that's...
So the success...
4?
Success plus weapon damage plus brawn.
Okay, 2, 4... Guess that's 9?
Okay. So you can do 9 damage, and then you have a triumph, which you can spend to make it an additional success. So 2 success from the 1 symbol. Or you can spend it to activate a crit, or you can use it to do Sunder. So you have some abilities that will ping off of that. You can also look at the cheat sheet. It has generic options for you to use your Triumph as well.
Okay. What would Sunder do in this instant?
Sunder, since it doesn't have armor, I would allow it to reduce its soak by 1.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay. So you cleave into this thing. You said 7 total damage, or is it 8? Sorry.
I think that would be 7.
7 damage. Okay. I'll apply the soak sundering after the blow because it would have helped for this blow, but for future blows, you've reduced its soak, and you cleave into this thing, slicing deep into its hide and getting in between some of the ribs. I think you have an uncancelled advantage too, right? I rolled 1 threat.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can use that to recover stamina or to give a boost die to an ally for their next check. Also, I think you can give it to yourself, if I'm not mistaken. But the cheat sheet tells you some of your options. The thing kind of roars and skitters back as the snake head kind of starts to sigh angrily at you. Is that going to be your turn?
Yeah, I think I'll use that advantage to restore a stamina.
Okay, perfect. The thing is going to whip around, and it's going to do improved dual wield here real quick. So it's going to do agility check. Whoosha! Okay. It's going to whip around, and as it does, it's going to claw at. Wretch as it tries to bite down at Ilya. Both of you get 2 extra failures added to your results because of Wallaby's shout earlier. So just roll your melee defense and then add 2 failures to the
I
results.
guess he's good for
That gives me a
something.
total of 2 failures.
Oh god.
That is 6 black die.
4 black die, 1 purple die.
Okay.
I like to imagine that Wretch is too brave to block it all.
Exactly. Exactly. He's just being a brave boy.
So brave.
3 failure, 1 threat.
Okay. Ilya, you duck underneath the bite as the back tail kicks out and screeches along Wretch's armor, but both hold true as this thing angrily is going to take to the air and fly up and over.
All right. Everything worked out.
Fly back.
Good encounter, everybody. Good encounter. Catch you in the showers.
Yeah, it's fine.
As it flies backwards, let's see here. I think you have attack of opportunity, don't you, Ilya?
Why?
I think you put some XP into that.
I did.
See, you get to have a free attack as it disengages from you.
Ooh.
Yes, I have an attack of opportunity. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That.
So, give it another attack?
Yeah, melee light. Yep, here you go.
2 plus my brawn. So,
So you take brawn is 3, your melee light is 2, so 2 yellow dice, 1 green die. Right?
3 success, 2 advantage.
2 threats. So you take your success, add your weapon damage, add your brawn.
So, brawn, 3 success, 6, 10.
Damn! A deep gash slices open part of the wing as it flies by you. It's hurt, but it's still kicking for sure
Alright.
as it flutters away. Wretch, over to you. Oh
So I don't
shit!
think I
Actually, as it goes to fly by, the trap would have sprung forth.
I was going to ask that if that
Yep.
counts or not, but I knew it was flying, so.
Yep, it's pretty big, and because it's animated trap. Go
guess-
ahead and give me a magic check versus its coordination as it attempts to duck out of the way.
It's a difficulty of my successes from the previous test.
Okay, so that many purple dice then. So I think
Yeah.
it was a 3 or 4.
And it was 3, I believe.
I think it was 3. Yep.
It might have been 4, but I'm just gonna say 3 because I don't remember.
And because it's not even looking, actually no, that's we already factored that in. We're good. It didn't attempt to detect it; it just failed detecting it. It's coordination here.
Hey, not bad.
It's got nothing in coordination. It's just its agility here. Don't forget, you guys can spend story points to upgrade checks.
Yeah, but I got 3 failure.
Yeah. Okay. So it goes to fly away, and the rope catches up along its wing and pulls it back down, and it slams against the edge there. It's trying to get away, It's going to have to do something to break free, though. It's ensnared.
Yeah, it's got that.
But
It's got
in a way
that cinder block
maneuver.
weighing it down.
It's got the cinder block wrapped around the piece of rebar sticking out of the wall.
Yeah.
So yeah, now it is Wretch Raventail's turn, and the thing is still engaged with you.
There we go.
Can I aim?
You may aim.
Does that add a boost?
Add a boost die. Yep.
Okay.
Gonna aim.
And it's gonna get just some partial cover from the. Actually, I'm just not gonna mess with partial cover now. You guys have already seen it and everything like that.
Aim and bonk.
Okay.
3 and 3.
Bonking with the
1 and 1.
Okay, so that means it's 2 and 2. I'll recover a health with the 2 advantage because I can't get it on him to do anything useful. And then that was 3 and 3, so it's 2 and 2. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 3 is 9. 9.
9. Ouch! The thing is now officially bloodied as you bring your hammer down, and you hear something crack right where its hip bone meets up with its femur in the back, meeting up with you, and it's going to try to it goes out to kick you out as a reaction, but its foot kind of jolts with the pain, and it doesn't quite make a connection.
Good.
Over to Emery? Or is that the end of your turn? Not the end of your turn.
That was the end of my turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feel free to just announce that when it comes around for you.
Sorry.
You don't have to ask. No, you're fine.
No, yeah. I'm gonna just ready my spear, if it does come by me for an attack.
Okay.
Basically.
Anything else?
Okay. No. Unless can I guard and do that?
Oh, also this is dissipating. As it burnt off. You can guard and then ready your action with your spear, yes. Keep in mind that you have to concentrate for your burnt.
No, that's fine.
Try.
Okay, well, since that stuff is gone, that changes. I'll walk up to, and I will concentrate, and that is good for me.
Okay. Wallaby's now with the fire burnt off, gonna run up 1, 2, 3. Runs past you, and then can someone roll me 2 yellow dice and 1 green die?
Got it.
So he's gonna run forward and attempt to hack at this thing.
You got 1 and 4.
Oh shit! No, he can do skullduggery for once. So roll. It's actually add 2 more green dice to that, please.
Okay. So keeping the 1 and 4. You now have 1 and 5, and then 2 and 6. So 2 and 6.
2 and 6. Okay, well, hopefully he doesn't miss this. Perfect. Okay, so it's 2 and 5, and then he's going to do ambusher, and that was backstab. So he gets to add 3. Add damage equal to your stealth skill. Okay, so it adds 3 damage to the hit. He hits this thing with his daggers for 9 damage. Nope, 10 damage. So he runs in, ha! And he takes the dagger right where that busted leg was, and he whips one straight into the joint there, and it kind of tries to kick it out, and just you see it just wiggle, and eventually the dagger falls out, but blood just spews up its backside. It's more of that caustic ichor, that weirdly enough clear substance that just smells foul, however. And that's his turn. This thing is now hurt, and it's frantically pulling at this snare. But it's Ilya's turn to give a chance to finish it off before it can break free.
I'm gonna give him a good stab.
All right, you can do a maneuver to aim, which would be a maneuver just to give yourself a blue die added to your pool, just so you know. If you're just giving you more options in your maneuvers and stuff like that.
Okay, so try this roll one more time. So that's 3 green plus 2 yellow because I have 3 brawn and 2 ranks in melee.
It's 3 dice, 2 of them yellow.
Oh, okay. See.
Yep. So think of it as like the dice get upgraded to yellow.
Okay. 1 triumph, 2 success, 1 advantage.
Okay.
Nice.
And I'm waiving, since it's ensnared, I'm waiving its extra black die, defense die from its agility. 1 threat.
Okay. So then I have my weapon damage and my brawn.
Weapon damage, brawn, uncancelled successes.
So that's another 9.
9 damage. Chopping into this thing. Oh, do you have any... No? Oh, man. It's wiggling this time. It's like getting ready to like gnaw its own leg as you slash through and buckle one of its wings. You know what? I would allow you to spend a story points to kill it. Or you can save it.
Why would I want to save it? It spit on me.
It's
No, spend a story point or to kill it, or save your story point.
yeah.
Okay. Here's a question.
Sure.
So I have Impaling Strike.
Yep.
Is that something I can do now because the injury is critical?
I don't have the talent sheet pulled up. 1 second. Do you have what the ability is on your sheet?
Yeah, when your character inflicts a critical injury with a melee weapon until the end of the target's next turn, they may use this talent to ensnare the target.
Yeah, so when you used your ability earlier to crit it. Oh, you haven't crit it yet, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so if you
I did
have,
get a triumph.
you can spend your triumph to crit it, at which point it's also ensnared.
Okay, I want to do that.
Okay. Do you have 2d10s? Otherwise, I'll roll a d100 for you, so to speak here.
You've got those.
So the crit, we'll do the crit first because there's a good chance that you kill it. I rolled 6. So that's on the cheat sheet. Shloop-a-doop.
Yeah. Probably gonna be faster.
Oh, right here. Reduce wound threshold by the 10s digit rolled. So, unfortunately, that doesn't kill it immediately. But it is pinned in place from your impaling strike. And it does have a crit on it. Which crits stack, so in the future, I would add 10 to the results. I just rolled literally 6 out of a possible 100.
Sounds like DM cheating.
Sounds like it. So this thing is pinned into place, and it's on its dying leg, and so it's going to angrily whip its head back, and it's going to spew caustic venom on you and on Wretch.
Aww.
I could see you.
Give me your melee defense. It's going to be 1 purple. Oh wait, no, you're engaged with it, and this is a ranged check. I think that's actually makes it hard. So it will actually, because of that, it's gonna do its improved dual wield, and it's gonna try to thwack at you both. But it's gonna see if
I
it's
wanted to
going
see
to
it spew.
It's too close. It's too close for him
Gonna
to
spew all over itself.
Yeah, so it does make its dual wield check, and it's going to swing at you both with melee. So do your melee defense. 1 purple plus whatever your melee defense says in black dice.
2 and 1, my lord.
1 moment.
4 failure, 2 threat.
Okay. So the first of y'all to 2 and 1. So that's going to be 8 damage as it swaps you with one claw, and then it's going to swipe you with the other claw for 8 more damage, both soakable. So it's not you get to apply your soak twice to 16.
It's hitting both of us twice, or just me?
It's hitting you twice. Swap, swap, and then it reaches over with its mouth to go and try to bite at Dustin. What did you say you rolled, Ilya? Sorry.
4 success, 4 failure, 2 threat.
And it misses, unfortunately. Perfect roll. Perfect counter roll. As it
good thing I'm tankier than God.
swings out at you,
Clearly.
and like, but you're just out of range as its back leg is still pinned, unfortunately. Back to Wretch.
Time to do an incantation thing. So can I do lay hands on myself?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, lay hands. Engage conscious target. Average check. Heal wounds. 2x success.
2 times your successes. Yep.
Strain equals A. Okay, so that also heals strain.
Yep. And you said it was an average check?
Yes.
You have been taking your 2 strain every single time you do a magic check, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So take 2 strain because you're casting magic, and
then I might heal it.
You might. 2 failure.
I will. So 4 and 2, and then I'm gonna check my talents because I thought I had something. After casting a heal spell, can change 2 rank success to advantage or vice versa. So I'm gonna change my 2 advantage to success. So I have 6 raw success.
Jesus. Okay, so -2 for my failure.
All right, so I take 2 strain to heal 4 wounds. I'll take that.
You heal 8 wounds because it's double the success.
That is true. I will take that as well. I'm back down to 3 damage.
Damn, that's a good heal.
And then I will defensive stance with my maneuver.
Okay. So that's you, Emery.
Oh man, both Ilya and the trap is holding this guy in place at this point, right?
Yeah, because he got pinned with the blade.
So I'm gonna go 1, 2. I'm gonna probably drop my trap at this point if it's still a concentration.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to just, do a light stab.
Okay. Go ahead. Go for
Just a
it.
little poke.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's gonna seem light after what you guys have been doing. Got 3 success. No advantage or anything.
I rolled 1 failure.
So
How much damage do you deal?
4, 1 second. 7.
How do you want to do this?
Yeah, I got it. I got the final killing blow, boys.
God damn
Take
it.
that.
Hey, if it weren't for your trap, it would have gotten away and then spit more at them.
Yeah, that's true. I held it down long enough for Ilya to hold it down again. Okay, so I'm gonna aim my spear just right for where I know the heart is, and just 1 quick poke.
Okay. It pierces right through between the ribs, right into there, and it goes limp, falling forward. You have just enough time to pull your spear free as it rolls off of the ledge. It catches, dangling from that piece of rebar for a moment before the burnt rope that you ceased concentration on snaps, and it falls into the Icarus water below, out of sight.
Huh.
Right on.
Ollie looks over the ledge. I mean, I hope it's dead. We gotta go in after it. But, whew, good job, guys. I have to say, I thought at least one of us was gonna get knocked in. But, that little rope trick you did, you have to teach me.
Thanks, Big Daddy Connery.
Anyways, huh? He takes one of the suits and pushes it up onto your chest, Wretch. Let's shoot up. And with that, we'll call it a night.
Takes one of the what's and shoves it into my chest?
Hazmat suits. Folded
Oh,
up,
okay.
like he just like passes you a hazmat suit.
Like,
He takes a blood dagger and jams it into your chest, and it
I didn't think it was
explodes
anything
in rays of
untoward, but I
blood.
also didn't know what it was.
Like, what? What's her name?
All right. With that, we'll see if we can make it out of the fetid city of Lemoore and get our way to a more scenic place.
Yeah, this place sucks.
But in order to get there, we must go through the heart of the fowlery that is this place. Thanks, guys, for playing. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Looking forward to more in the future. Dustin, now that you've had a chance to kind of see what your guy does, you got like 60 more XP that you get to spend on whatever you want in your rank tree.